This is VP4 TV. Here is a list of scheduled upcoming matches in this year's VP4 2022 World 10 Ball Championship. I will try and stream as many as I possibly can, although time zone differences will be an issue. I must thank those players who take this into consideration when arranging their matches. Please subscribe to my YouTube and Twitch channels to join in the stream chat.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool, nothing else.
Good night, ladies.
Well, good evening, everybody. We're back in VP4 TV on VP4 Online. We're here for Friday Night 9 Ball. And the good news is that Friday Night 9 Ball is full. The sign-ups closed even before I get back in front of the PC. We've got 16 in. We'll have a quick look at the bracket, because of course once the sign-ups are closed and there's 16 in, the bracket goes up, although it doesn't go live until the top of the hour. We've got about 8 minutes to go. Let's look at the matches. We've got Mr. Bill versus Brain Fell Out. Of course, the thing that's missing here at the moment is the handicaps. It's a Moneyball handicap, so Brain Fell Out will be getting something against Bill. He might be getting the 8 ball, something like that. Sylvia is playing Jezdev. Larry is playing Bankster. Smoking Sid is playing Christian. LS3 is playing John Boo. Z Karaoke is playing Spectre Dawn. Chimpy is playing Travelling TT. And One Pocket Slim is playing that guy with a funny name, FTW. So that will go live at the top of the hour. As I showed there are matches in the 10 Ball World Championship. There's another one been added to the schedule. We'll have another quick look at that to remind myself. Hang on, I know what we'll do. We'll do it this way rather than listening to that text to voice thing. We have the match between Bankster and Rabi has been arranged. It's for Saturday at 8 AM in the morning British summertime. I'll be at work, so I won't see that one. Mr. Fox plays Mooncake on Saturday evening at 8 o'clock. And on Sunday at 6 PM British summertime, we have a match between Mal and Bedhead. But also, Potman was telling me earlier today that he'd arranged his match with Larry, and it's in the schedule. Unfortunately, it starts an hour after the Mal and Bedhead match starts, so we'll watch Mal and Bedhead, and if the Larry and Potman match is still going, we'll watch the end of it on Sunday. And then the other matches are for next week. We've got Biggs versus Barkers on Tuesday, which is at 7:30 PM British summertime. And then the last match at the moment on the schedule is the match between Smoking Sid and Spectre Dawn, and that will go ahead on Wednesday night at 8 PM British summertime. So that's the matches that are scheduled. Again, anything else might get added to that in the meantime in the following couple of days, but for the time being, that's what we have. The other thing to mention also is that there was a match this morning, and it was the match between Sharky9 and what's that guy's name again? something 24, wasn't it? Polina 24. And Sharky9 is finding VP4 a lot more tough than what he found VP3. And Polina seems to be quite a capable player, because Polina ran out 17 racks to 7 against Sharky9. I think he's pretty competent at what he's doing. I never really got a chance to look at it, only dropped in to see what the score was at the time when I got home. I had to get something to eat, so I never saw the end of the match. But Sharky9 has found it's going to be tough in his first tournament online, or his first big tournament, that is. So he moves over to the one-loss side, and Polina now goes through to play Sylvia. Now there's a problem, and the reason, of course, that the match between Sharky presumably still stays in Germany. He is German, so the assumption is that's where he still is. But Polina is from the Philippines, so there's a huge time zone difference there. And Sylvia is going to have the same problem. And I don't know whether she'll be able to arrange her match at a time that I'll be able to catch it, maybe on a day off or something like that. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. And I think that is about it. Other than that, it's the other matches that are in the schedule. Now, just give me 2 seconds. I'll be back in a minute. Hold on a minute. Right, I'll just do a quick refresh on the chat. Now, if somebody would care to type something, I didn't catch. I don't know who's in the chat yet, because I haven't been reading it. But I'll put the text to speech back on so that I can hopefully hear, rather than having to keep turning my head. But anyway, welcome whoever it was.
Off 4.
Ah,
Hey.
Semi-Pro.
Gloria
Good evening.
Victus Jape.
Good evening
Can't
to
remember
LS3.
BH. We'll have to dig it out tomorrow.
Welcome to LS3. And Bedhead, if he's there as well.
One pocket slim. LS3 has me way too short, I can tell you that.
Welcome to Slim. Yeah, I switched the text to speech off last night when Steve was in, because it was drowning out everybody. So, but as I'm the only one here, I'll have it on, and it saves me having to turn my head as much.
John Bew 18. Hey.
Welcome to John Boot.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
So, full house tonight. I wonder how long this tournament's going to take tonight. I hope there's some quick matches. That way I can get to bed earlier. I'm just thinking about what match I should go in and watch. Now, I've got my eye on one. Not that one, because that's the 10-ball bracket. I think we should go in and watch the Spectre Dawn Z Karaoke match. Z Karaoke will be getting some sort of handicap. Just a question of whether he's going to get any use of it. I think that's the match to watch. Spectre Dawn, of course, still enjoying his the aftermath of his victory against Cobra in the 10-ball World Championships. There's a long way to go yet, and Cobra, of course, he's in the one-loss side, so he's still in the tournament. But there's a long road to go to win one of these big events. You've got to stay the distance. And that's what Spectre Don hasn't been doing in these big events. Mind you, he's limited by the big events that he
One
plays
pocket
in,
slim.
because
Spectre has answered your challenge.
he's...
Semi-Prof 4. Oh, it's Friday, I had no idea.
what are you talking about, Slim? What was I saying there? Yeah, Spectre Don's... he reduces his chances of winning a world championship by the fact that he doesn't play in the straight pool tournament. He doesn't play, or he didn't play in the black ball. He didn't play in the cribbage. So he's putting all his eggs into one basket by playing just the 10 ball and the 9 ball one if it ever comes around again. It's well past its time. It should have been. It's well over a year since we've had the 9 ball world championships. But Spectre Don's odds are narrowed by the fact he doesn't get himself in the mix often enough. He's still to win one. So the rooms should be up. And One Pocket Slim and FTDW or whatever that.
Disjape.
There's nobody in there
SD
yet.
was third fav on my list. Now JT fav, I'd say. Semi-Prof 4. I've been out of work for a month, so the days become irrelevant. Smiley face, didn't realize it was Friday, lol.
Smoking Sid. What was the room I said I was going again? See Karaoke, Spectre Dawn. Let's go in. I don't know whether the cloth colour's at the right colour. Yes, it is. So, Z Karaoke is getting the 6 ball, which is quite generous. And the 6 ball is going to be the problem ball, and it will hinge on how he gets on this 5. It always does. You've got to play the right sort of positional shot to make it easy to drop through onto that 6 ball. Now, this needs a firmish little stun to come across. He's just a wee bit short. The reason I'm saying that is, again, he should have been there where he's not going near the 7 ball.
Semi-Prof 4. Rooting for Spec here cause the handicap is stupid.
And, well, he couldn't avoid bumping that 7. Of course, he only needed the 6 ball. I forgot immediately. Couple of balls in the break. 9 ball was one of them. And the 9 ball will get respotted.
One Pocket Slim. The handicap is awesome and should be more.
I take it your opponent hasn't showed Slim, or because there was still nobody in the room there when I looked at the list of games. So Z Karaoke taking advantage of his extra money ball. So a couple of rails here, I would think. No, he's just dragged off it. Well, this is going to be tricky unless he jacks up and tries to kill it. If he runs forward, he's going to... Yeah. Well, that all comes about leaving yourself a long distance away from the object ball to start with. And again, it was a good chance here for Z Karaoke. And you'd expect Spectre Don to find his way out here. Still got to play a first good shot here though off this 4 ball to get on the 6. Depends what you want to do. He could probably drop behind it. He's trying to just come up and not hook himself. That was well played.
Semi-Prof 4. I better tell my team who is playing tomorrow, smiley face.
Oh, my team knew who was playing last week. They all knew on the Saturday morning. Let's hope the Filipinos show up. Well, Z Karaoke should know by now what happens when you don't take chances and when you leave opportunities for Spectre Dawn. He's going to find his way out. One rack all, and that might be dry. Yep, dry break. Well, the obvious problem again. There always has to be one problem, and it's the 5 ball. And has he got into that enough? No, he hasn't. But of course, I don't think he can get this clean. Let's have a look. Nope, he's having to jump. And again, we'll see how Spectre Dawn manages to deal with this situation. I mean, that 5 ball, you could cut it into the corner, but it's going to be the awkward one to get on. So let's see how he manufactures a shot here. I think maybe the angle on the 3 isn't great. No, it isn't. Well, I don't know whether he played for the hit on them, and if he got lucky, he would have still had the 4 in the corner. If that's the case, he's obviously missed it.
Evening.
Good evening to Popman. Now, you can see now that it's going to be a struggle to get to that 5 ball. He's dead straight on the 4 into the side. So he was just trying to tuck the 4 ball away. Now that might have nudged that 7 into a combo. No, it hasn't. There was a little nudge in the 7 ball there. Now, of course, this isn't 10 ball. The 10 ball tournament, of course, you don't have jump cues, but you've got jump cues in this. So if Spectre Dawn's going to try and duck back behind the 7 and 5, he's got to get it fairly tight. But he could go up the top end as long as he doesn't scratch. But he's let the 4 ball leak away. And Z Karaoke can take a blast at this. Try and get the bump. And he's missed it. I mean, that was quite a big target, that 5 and 7 ball, and now he's in trouble. He should have dug into the cue ball a bit more. Maybe needed a bit of draw into that short rail, and then spin it into them. And of course, he's forgot to get a ball to a rail, and he's made it easy for Spectre Dawn by giving him ball in hand. That was a bit silly.
This is VP4 TV.
That's the wrong button. Well, how's this 6 ball looking? It does go. He might just be rolling through. I don't know whether he can get past that 8 ball. Well, he's just managed to nudge it.
Bedhead _ sway. He played a deliberate foul.
It didn't. Well, if he played a deliberate foul, I think there's better ways to play a deliberate foul. Let's just put it that way. I don't know whether was he trying to lock those 2 balls up? Maybe that's what his plan was.
Rep 1 Titian. Is that even allowed?
Yeah, you can play deliberate fouls. That's the problem with a lot of people. They don't use the deliberate foul option. If you can't get to a ball, if you're hooked and you don't think there's much chance of you getting to a ball, then the next best thing to do is to lock balls up, and hit any ball to try and lock a couple of balls together and make it difficult for your incoming opponent to run the table with ball in hand. It leaves them having to deal with a problem. Well, Z Karaoke's recovered. Nice little bank.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Rep 1 Titian. In UK pool that's illegal, I think you lose the frame.
Yes, in black ball and stuff like that, it's an illegal shot, but not in 9-ball. Well, it is an illegal shot, but it's not against the principal rules in 9-ball. This is why you've got to use the rules to your advantage. Now, the obvious thing with playing a deliberate foul is if your opponent comes in, he could decide to just try and lock you up and get you on 2 fouls, in which case you then put yourself under pressure and could lose the rack on a 3 foul. Now, we have a fairly straightforward 2-9 combo here.
4. In 9B, deliberate foul is allowed. Semi-prof 4. That's why there is 3 foul rule.
Yeah. So, we're all square, and I think Spectre Dawn's had a couple of dry breaks. And, this is where the lower rated player needs to try and get advantage of it. He's caught the knuckle. And these unforced errors like that are not good for your prospects, because this table here
bedhead_sway
is just going to get taken
often
out.
Useful. Semi-prof 4. In UK it's only blackball that a deliberate foul is not allowed.
Well, so you can play deliberate fouls in what other pub table games are there? There's blackball, there's 8-ball. Well, obviously snooker, you can't do that. So these setups that are left for Spectre Dawn, these are things that he's well practiced in taking advantage of. I fully expect him to get out.
One Pocket Slim. Is this voice gal single? Are you single?
Slim, what's happening with your match? Did he not show up? I never saw any result coming through. Or any, I don't see any forfeit or anything.
One Pocket Slim. They're scared K. Semi-prof 4. UK world rules / blackball and now international rules and very very old pub rules.
So a quick look at the 9-ball. I think the 9-ball is fine, yeah. He could let the cue ball run, or he could just roll this in dead weight, whatever he's happy with, because it's comfortably off the short rail at the top to cut in to go into the lead. So these
Semi-prof 4.
These errors
that was for Hugh
are costly. So that's the games that you can't play a deliberate foul in on the pub table. Spectre Dawn this time has got the 1 and 2. He's lying the wrong angle on the 3, but he's got loads of room to swing around the table here. I don't know whether he wants to just leave this, try and leave it over by the left side pocket.
No.
No?
Only black ball.
Right. I think he's got too much angle in this to hold it.
Semi-prop 4.
He's checked it.
Is loss of frame.
Loads of right English there to hit the rail and dull the spin in that cue ball. So the mistakes that Z Karaoke's made have always cost him a rack so far. You can't do nothing about this because this is looking very much like a break and run here for Spectre Dawn. He can go up and down easily here. And again, loads of right spin. You see why the cue ball goes to the end rail and then it comes this way rather than taking its normal path, which would be that way. A nice angle to get up on the left hand side. And I think he'll still be able to hold for the 8. With this angle, you've got probably a couple of choices. You could stun up and stun back, or say spin back, whatever you want to do. And here endeth the lesson. It's been a costly mistake, that shot from Z Karaoke when he tried to cut the ball and it caught the point on the middle pocket, or the side pocket. It's cost him 2 racks. And it's a 2 rack lead for Spectre Dawn because of it. I think he's back to the dry breaks though. So Z Karaoke needs to get some assurity here. Now he's played the billiard on the 6. He was never ever going to go. Well, again, what am I talking about? I forgot it was a money ball. That's a bonus. That's twice I've forgotten about his money ball. That's one way to get rid of the racks quickly. A handy little billiard on the 9. And another nice bank.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Nice and clean. This is awkward because he's again going all out for the pot. I was going to say it's awkward if you're trying to play a safe from that angle. He could have tried pushing the ball down the rail, but if he pushed it too far towards the 4, he'd probably leave some sort of combo on. In fact, he's left a combo on anyway, with the cue ball where it's gone near the 7. But a 6-ball money ball is handy enough for Z Karaoke. He's well capable of potting enough balls to get to that 6-ball, but he might not get many opportunities to do so. That's the problem. And he's odds on to be trailing by 2 again in a minute. I was just saying, I don't know whether Slim had arrived or any of the other guys had arrived at the time, but Sharky9, who I had mentioned in previous streams as a former VP3 World Snooker Champion and also 10-ball, because I thought it was actually Sheba that won it, but it was actually I think it was Sharky9 that won that, was it as well? So I'd need to check if I can find it on Google. But anyway, he was playing Paulina from the Philippines this morning. The match started as I was leaving work, and when I got home, I think Paulina was 7-2 up, and I had to go and get something to eat, and I never saw the end of the match, but I did see the result, and Paulina won by 17 racks to 7. So Sharky's finding VP4 much tougher, albeit it's the first time he's really been around here in all the years that VP4's been available, and he was finding it tough apparently. I think Spectre Dawn and Bill were in watching the match, and from the chat that I read in the lobby after the match,
Pocket Slim.
Sharky9 was saying that
the 10-ball tourney is a complete minefield for players at our level.
Yeah,
There's 10 to 15 players I'd easily lose to. Sharky as well.
Well, according to Sharky, he said he spoke to Paulina saying that Paulina actually played fairly flawless after they had a break, maybe a bathroom break or something like that.
Semi-Prof 4.
So he ran away with the match.
Once I'm ready I will win some WCS. Smiley face.
I'll be looking forward to seeing this Barker's guy playing his match. So there was another quick rack there that came about, and suddenly Z Karaoke's found himself in the lead. 3 balls dead though, but let's see whether that whether bumping the 3 and catch.
Deist Nomad. I'll read.
It might catch the knuckle. Good evening to Wit. Inspector Don's going to have to try and create a shot here, but I'm looking, if you actually bump to 3 onto the 7, well, that's made it completely different now, because Spectre Don's missed the 2, and not only that, he's left the 2 on, and Z Karaoke can...
Deist Nomad. Hugh, it was Keith that won the 1-0 BWC. He beat Diablo in final.
It was Keith. You're right. I stand corrected. Yeah, it was Keith from Northern Ireland that won it. I would think it was Sharky, but Sharky won the snooker one. I know that. I just wonder whether Sharky's going to stay around, or whether he's going to see this tournament out on the one-loss side and then never come back again. I think he's maybe realised that it's not going to be. He realises that now it's not going to be instant success coming back to VP4 like a new player, and trying to get dialed in and used to the way the physics work in this game, as opposed to how loose it was in VP3. It's entirely different. So it's an alien game for him in that sense, other than the fact that he knows what he's doing.
One pocket slam.
It's been able to execute
There's
it
more
correctly.
talent in VP4 now than VP3 in my humble opinion.
Oh aye, opinion. Your humble opinion. Even the text to speech has got it, opinion.
Albin Haroldson. Sharky has some brain thing, he can't focus like he used to be able to.
Oh, is that?
Deist Nomad. Hard to compare TBH.
Is that right? Is that right, Albi?
O.P. Onion LOL.
I never knew that. Well, if he's got medical issues, then that's a big hindrance as well. I hope you're not being funny, by the way.
Deist Nomad. Some brain thing. Deist Nomad. He's on meds.
He's on medic. Well, maybe that's a valid reason for why he's not been around for a while. He's maybe been in long-term illness. But Spectre Dawn looking to get back on level terms again. So this match could go either way, and that might be dependent on how Spectre Dawn breaks off in this next rack. So I haven't seen any match results coming through so far, so this match is moving along at a reasonable enough pace. We're 25 minutes into it. We've played 10 racks, and once again I think Spectre Dawn's dry. And look at that 6-ball. Well, there's danger if ever you've seen it. 6-ball very close to this corner pocket, and it also aids with potting a ball into this corner pocket as well if it ever needs to be. I don't think that'll be the case though. He's trying to draw onto it there. Now that's an attempt there that Z Karaoke's made, and I'm willing to bet that's his last shot in this rack. That 5-ball goes past the 8 comfortably enough, so this is done and dusted, this rack. So
Semi-Prof 4. Hey Albie, how's it going?
the main channels in the UK, BBC One and ITV, have been 24 hours so far.
Semi-Prof 4.
24
Shout if
hours.
when you want a practice partner for 10B.
24 hours solid it's been, and it'll be about another 9 or 10 days before the funeral. Well, there's the first result came through. Chimpy has gone through 7 racks to 1 against Travelling TT. And as predicted, and there's another result through, Mr. Bill has gone through 7 racks to 4 against Brain Fill Out. As I predicted, it was Z Karaoke's last shot.
Rep 1 Titian. Cancelled the footy too. Alvin Haroldson. Hey Semi, not bad THX.
Yes, everything's
sure will do.
Everything's cancelled. And there another result through. LS3 has beaten John Boo by 7 racks to 5. So they're a bit like London buses, these results. You see none for almost half an hour and then 3 come at the one time. Inspector Dawn
Deist Nomad
is on the hill.
Sick of it all already, thank God for the stream.
Right, so Z Karaoke has fluked to 6. Let's see that again.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Look at that for a shot. You're trying to tell me he played that shot? But anyway, it doesn't matter how you do it. It's 6 racks all. You could have played it. I mean, the cue ball was always coming off the rail, but you need that little roll of the ball. And he got it just when he needed it.
Semi-Prof 4. Hugh Galufi.
That's not how you say it. It's Gollogly. West coast of Ireland. And I bet you the text-to-speech says it wrong.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Semi-Prof 4. Hugh Gollogly. Deist Nomad. Gollogly. Rep 1 Titian. Goggly. 1 Pocket Slim. Hughes muted.
Oh, you're right, I'm muted. Let's see the bracket. Well, Bill's playing Sylvia right now, and Sylvia's getting what looks like the 6 ball as well in round 2. Larry is 6-3 up against Bankster, who's getting a 6 ball. Smoking Sid is 5-3 up against, or 5-2 up against Christian. Let's set that clock to a wee bit quicker. And Z Karaoke is about to play LS3. Chimpy's waiting on the winner of Slim, and FTW Slim is on the hill there as well. So Bill and Sylvia about to get underway. LS3 and Sylvia, an all ladies match, just getting underway. Sorry, not LS3 and Sylvia. LS3 and Z Karaoke. Sylvia's up top. Bill and Sylvia have started. And we've also got Spectre Dawn trying to battle his way all the way through this one-loss side, and he's starting off against John Boo, who's getting the 5 ball, a dangerous 5 ball. I don't know where to go here. Where do you think I should go, guys? There's obviously first round matches still on. Slim looks as if he's going to get over the line. Who have I not seen here? Let's go in and watch Smoking Sid. I don't think I've watched Smoking Sid. He's an old term VP3 player. That match might have just finished as well. Oh no. So it may well be just about to finish. In fact, Slim's just won his match, 7 racks to 3. Oh, he needs to be anything but straight. And he's straight. So now, the safest route is to go forward, because that way he knows he's going to open up the 4 ball. If he comes back, he's got to get the pace right, and he's got to avoid hooking himself. And he's tried the stun draw, and he's just still on that 4 ball. Hit that nice and firm, but that little quarter of the Q-tip going below the equator is just enough to get you that stun draw.
1 Pocket Slim. Hugh, do your best Sean Connery impression. Something like, cue balls don't react well to pockets. Thank you.
Do your best Sean Connery impression. It takes me a while to warm up with Sean Connery. I don't know why. Let me try. What was I supposed to say again? Don't, like, cue balls don't react well to pockets. Thank you. See, it's rubbish to start with and then I warm up. I need to go on for about an hour. My name is Swan.
Semi-Prof 4. I know Hugh you don't agree with this. I got a 147 on turn narrow pockets and now trying on turn tight, which are even smaller.
That's good.
Chimpy 8915. Keep Slim busy, he might miss some shots.
Well, now is that... that's a wee bit short there from Sid. Good evening to Chimpy.
Dea ist Nomad. They are the same size, are they not semi? Semi-Prop 4. ABS says hi to everyone. Dea ist Nomad. Os ready misread.
So, the scratch from Christian has given Sid ball in hand. And again, I would expect this match to be over from this situation. Because all you're doing is... Well, he's a wee bit tentative in that because there's loads of room to just, cut the 3 in and he's down on the 4 ball. You just sort of a wee bit a wee bit sort of nervy shot there, it looked like. And the only thing with that is that he's now got to come back for this 5-ball. Let's have a look at what he's got
Semi-Prof
here.
4. Tournament tight is crazy hard and the highest break I had so far is 41. Smiley face.
Well, this is all because he didn't get as good enough on that 4-ball. He should have been closer to it. And now this is dangerous because Christian only needs the 5 and the 6-ball if he's going to get a shot here, and he may well get a shot. This 5-ball is, well, it's just gone to that. It's gone over that sort of line where it's not going to be anywhere near easy. And I don't think that's going to drop. And that will be Christian's last shot this time. Well, this is going to be the first time anybody who's under the age of 70
Deist Nomad.
in this country is going to
Sounds
get to...
like mission impossible. Glad you accepted the mission.
Is going to witness a coronation. Since, 1952 was it? And then, of course, before that, there's a state funeral where every man and his dog will be coming into the country. Oh, what's Sid done here? Let's have a look. Yes, he has done. He's absolutely nailed to the 9-ball. But it still means that Christian has to pot this 8 and 9. Well, he won't be doing that, but hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Wait a minute till I find it.
One Pocket Slim. Hugh, who's your favorite famous Scottish person? It's Ask Hugh Dake.
Famous Scottish person. Well, the one that's made me laugh the most, Billy Connolly. Because I was listening to Billy Connolly before anybody down in England knew about him. When he used to do gigs up in Scotland and he was doing clubs and stuff, and
Deist Nomad.
he's got a number of albums
Frankie
from
Boyle.
back in those days. Frankie Boyle, I mean, if you watch those clips of his audience abuse,
Semi-Prof 4.
they're hilarious.
Hugh, what's your favorite pie or food, whatever you wanna say?
So my favourite Scottish person, I would say, entertainment-wise, Billy Connolly. The other one would be comedy-wise would have been what's his name? Now I'm trying to think his name, but most of you people, in fact, pretty much all of you won't have heard of him. What's his name? Ricky Fulton. Ricky Fulton was very funny. But that's a lot of that Scottish humour and Glasgow dialect, so it's a local thing, that one. Favourite food? A favourite type of food? Chinese, definitely. But there's nothing simpler than tatties and mince. Tatties and mince and brown sauce over the top. You can't beat it. Well, Christian, believe it or not,
Slim.
is
Hugh is a communist.
Is going to be
Confirmed.
one right
With
behind.
tongue sticking out.
This is the danger of this 6-ball. Keep telling you.
Rep 1 Titian. Brown sauce.
Aye, brown sauce. B-R-O-O-N, not brown. It's brown. B-R-O-O-N. Brown sauce. So now Smoking Sid is
Semi-Prof 4.
on a knife edge here.
OKIR favorite Q Sports player of all time.
Oh, favourite Q Sports player. Favourite player to watch, without doubt, is Ronnie O'Sullivan. Because his touch and cue ball control, there's nobody can better him. I'll stand by that. Nobody can better him for his touch and cue ball control. It's sublime for the most part, and taking into consideration that he's at the end, he's nearer the end of his career than he is the beginning of it, and I don't see any big noticeable drop in the quality of his game, and he's still going to be fighting for the money. Okay, it's a different game now, but
Deist Nomad.
He's
Remember in VP3 they used to do player interviews. Alan Ville was interviewed. He said the person he would most like to meet would be Romario PMSL.
Yeah, I'd like to see Romario back in VP4, but I say, a lot of people guard their privacy online, and if you don't have any contacts for anybody or that, then you never know what's happened to them. And Romario's one of them. I don't know anybody online who has any details of Romario to find out if he's maybe popped his clogs. But he's been away far too long. Well, Sid is making it tough for himself.
One pocket slim. Having tea with the Queen now maybe.
Yeah.
Rep 1 Titian. Haha.
I mean, he's got to try and get cover, because this 6 ball is going to cut. Now, if Christian could just hold his nerve. Yeah. That's the difference in a 1600 player as opposed to a 2100 player right there, because they would cut that ball every day of the week and never miss it. And Sid should be, well, no sooner have I just uttered the words, he's gone and missed it as well. And this 6 ball might bank. Oh, Christian needs to get this past the pocket, and he hasn't. Well, I think Sid has to make sure he avoids the 7.
Communist.
Hang on a minute. Well, he'll jump it anyway. No, I'm certainly not a communist.
Larry. He is never at the meetings.
That's true, I've never been invited. Well, Spectre Don survived his first match to 1 loss side. He's beaten John Boo 4 racks to 1. I'm certainly not a royalist. I mean, they were interviewing a couple of Chelsea pensioners, which are those guys that dress up in the red uniform with the black caps, and one of them was wailing like a wee kid. These are people standing outside Buckingham Palace. Some of them with the tears rolling down their faces. I mean, I wouldn't go to that length. It's oh dear, Sid. Well, that's the worst shot of the night there.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
There's a sellout if ever I've seen it. And Christian.
One pocket slim.
Lives
I was sad
again.
when Diana died. Always thought she was too good for Chuck.
Well, maybe I was the only person that asked at the time. I says, what does that lassie see in Prince Charles? That's what I asked. It's as if it was an arranged marriage. And then of course that all went tits up, as they say. Smoking Sid says too much brandy. I think also he's maybe got some sipping liquor with him, which doesn't help his cause. So we're on the hill. We're on Hill here.
Larry. Money, fame, etc.
Yeah, well, there's always, that's the thing about having a monarchy.
Deist nomad. Charles traded up to Camilla.
It's the thing about a monarchy where taxpayers like me and everybody else in this country pay for their living, basically. Pay for, their homes that they live in, their big fancy homes, their estates that they own, all of that stuff. I think we're way off. We're way off like a Russian revolution in this country. We're way far away from that.
Don't forget the horses.
Yeah. Oh, this 4-ball's going to roll dead.
Larry. And they complain about poor people being on the dole.
Well, it's always been like that. There's them that have it and them that don't. I'm one of them. Well, Sid's scratched in the side, but I'm pretty certain he's going to have another shot here. Christian's got the 4-ball. Well, I say he's going to have another shot. He's just got to roll the 4 in, roll the 5 in, and not let the cue ball leak away anywhere. And he's going to be home and dry. Well, this is fairly straight in, and so Christian. Well, I think I'd done for smoking Sid when I joined the room, because I'm certain he was was he 6-3 up when I joined the room, and lo and behold, the old voodoo has worked again. Christian has gone through by 7 racks to 6. Somebody will be able to confirm that. So there's a bit of a surprise, but that's what the 6-ball money ball does for you if you're going to get enough chances to get to it. And Christian done well to find his way. And Larry's got the same problem in a minute because Christian's going to be playing him. We've got Bill 5-3 up against Sylvia in round 2. I think that's all the first round matches over yet. We've got LS3 4-2 up against Z Karaoke, and we've got Slim against Chimpy. So that's the match we're going to drop into.
Blame it on the liquor.
And just as we join it, Slim's about to go 3-1 up. Let's see if the voodoo will work in this room. This is a scratch match, no handicap. And certainly 1 ball went in. Football 6-ball is gone. Oh, this is sitting pretty nice. Apart from the fact that the 2 balls nailed to the top rail. And Slim needs to watch the cue ball.
Where's the cue ball going?
I managed to get the right button this time. Is he corner hooked?
Deist nomad. Like Hunter S. Thompson said, it's a strange world. Some people get rich and other eat shit and die.
Oh, I think he can just get to it. No, maybe he can't. Oh, I think he's getting lucky. He's gotten lucky. Well, Chimpy's going to have to settle for that. It could have finished worse. Having said that, also he could be back in trouble in a second. Easy enough to push the 2 to the long rail on the side. He's got to get the ball to the rail. Oh dear.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
And there's quite a few players sort of chickening out, trying to be too gentle. And a gift of an opportunity here for Chimpy to get back in touch. The voodoo is beginning to work, Slim. Oh, where's this cue ball going? A nudging at 8. Oh, he's okay. Now, I think he wants to come off this quite a wee bit, this 5 ball. He wants to leave himself comfortable in the 7. And that isn't comfortable. That's neither here nor there. It's one of them shots. I mean, it will go obviously in the corner, but it's a wee bit more of a testy one. And he's played it fairly well. Can just drop the 8 in. Coming across for the 9 in the same pocket. And back to within 1.
Cobra 4. Hi.
Good evening to Cobra. So into rack number 6. Chimpy breaking. And Bill has gone through by 7 racks to 3 against Sylvia. And I think that's dry. Now that 4 and 7 ball looked pretty dead into the corner here. Yeah. Another result comes through as well on the 1 loss side. Brainfill Out has beaten Jesdev by 4 racks to 3. So we're 50 minutes into the tournament. The matches are ticking along quite nicely so far. And Slim just trying to get nice and high in this 3 ball so he can get in as good a line as he can on this 4 and 7. I don't think he wants to be on the rail though. He wants to get out off the rail. Give himself enough room. Well, he's never missing this. So this is the one that's going to make or break the rack. Looking at it, it's there, avoid the scratch and get down there. Oh, he's just avoided the scratch. That was always the danger with that shot. And he's, I think he's got enough angle to work with here. Maybe not, he's a bit straight. I think he might just leave this long, this 6 ball, if he's not going to take any risks, and that's exactly the idea. And I don't think he wants to do anything heroic with the cue ball here either, so just drop the 8 in and leave the 9 into this bottom left. And he'll have the lead and a break. It's looking pretty dry again. And Chimpy comes to the table with the open invitation right on the 1 ball. He's going to have to move the cue ball to go on the 2. But the rest of it after that shot should be fairly straightforward. Now he might just run forward here and try and drop in the line to take this 3 ball into the side. Oh, he's not getting there, is he? He's not getting there. He had a bit more leeway to get there. Another result has come through in the 1 loss side. Travelling TT has beaten FTW. And a nice little recovery bank.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
But he's hooked in the 4, I think. I think he's hooked in the 4. Well, he's pretty much hooked on it. Oh, that double kiss may have helped him. I think that's helped him big time. It's pretty much a rock solid safety. Now this is if you can dare to get this as thin as you can, you've got a good length safety shot here. And that is the right shot. That's the right way to play it.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
You've got to get it cigarette paper thin, because then it keeps all the pace in the cue ball to get that distance. And what's more, he's got the snooker. Easy target to hit, but you never know the outcome. In fact, a chance of this getting kicked in. He's hit it more or less full in the face. Where's the 4 gone? Now is Slim going to resist the combo? He's having a look at it. Or is he playing it off the 7? I think there's just as much a chance of this 4 ball going in off the 7. It makes it a big pocket to just send it past the 8 ball onto that 7, and you would think it's got to go in, but he's got to hit it half ball. And he's played the combo, but the 4's followed it in. What a bonus that is. I don't think Chimpy will be that impressed. But Slim looking to stretch the gap to 3 racks here. And should do. Although this is a little touchy shot, this one, on this 7. He could either nursemaid this in just to try and hold the short side of the 8, or he could cut it and run up and down the table into loads of open space to get on it. But he's just trying to get the weight right. And he's played it well. Pretty nigh perfect. Probably roll through, just leave the 9 into the side. Oh, he's played the stun. That works just as well. So Chimpy's got work to do to survive on the winner's side. And he could do with the help of Slim having a dry break here to start with. And, well, it's not a dry break. It's a scratch. And ball in hand for Chimpy. So the little tricky shot is coming up. The 2 ball is off the rail. He's got to leave that angle when he pots the 2 to just stun across for that 5 ball. And then really oh dear.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
That was well off the rail, that 2 ball. It wasn't that much of a hindrance, but Chimpy hasn't hit it sweet. And, well, that is the chance. He's lucky it didn't finish easier than this for Slim. And again. Oh, well. I think Chimpy wants this handed on a plate to him, and Slim's doing his very best to do that. And this is finished almost dead straight. He doesn't want to take liberties here. He might be just taking the old VP4 escape route, the big draw, and he didn't want that, because now he's going to have to reverse bank this 6 ball. Cue ball is running up towards the 7 and 8 with this line. And he just has to hope he doesn't hook himself behind the 8 ball if he pots this 6. And he wants that to stop. He actually hit the 9. Now, is Slim going to try and duck here? Or is he going to go all out for the cut? Because he's got a nice angle off the left edge of this 6. He's got to get it the same as the last time, wafer thin. He might be going for the bank. And I don't think that'll hold the line, but again, it's gone pretty safe, although there is an enticing cut which Chimpy can't refuse. He's got to go for it. And, well, the 8 and 9 certainly can be made. It could even be, you could even pot the 7 and play, if you go inside, you can go a billiard off the 8 onto the 9. Let's see what Chimpy decides here. But he could just roll this in and finish close to the rail so that he could, if he finished somewhere like there, he could billiard the 9 in. But he's trying to get out to make the combo.
Interchange X.
That's not
8
bad.
to 9 carom is the shot.
That's not bad. It's as good as anything. Oh yeah, he might have done better to settle himself there. And again, it's not finished easy here for Slim. Good evening to Interchange X.
Rep 1 Titian. Trickier than it looked.
So what's Slim looking at here? He's looking at the bank. And it's gone 2 rails. So Chimpy had his chance. And now it's the point of no return. Slim's 1 away. He's got the break. The 3 ball is going in top left. And he's got a shot in the 1 and the 2 balls over the side. The 4 balls in the middle of the table. The 5 balls in the middle of the table. 6 balls in the middle of the table. This rack's over and the match is over. I think I'm going to need a fair few lucky rolls tomorrow night. I hope my luck's in. I need all the help I can get. So we've got the second week of the, well, no sooner have I said that than Slim's duffed the 5 ball.
Nomad. Rep 1 Titian, what's your name on VP4?
Wrong button. What was that? What? What the hell's going on here? Hang on a minute. That's better. What was that about VP4?
Rep 1 Titian. At RestreamBot I only play offline.
Well, Chimpy has got a long road ahead of him. And I think he should just be dropping that in. He had the angle just to roll through as well, so at least he's going to have the break. And he'll be trailing by 2.
Interchange X. Welcome to the stream. Hope you check out the game. Semi-Prof 4. Hugh say this name Isaac Chris Peacock.
Say this name Isaac Chris Peacock. So you expect me to say it quicker so it sounds like Isaac Crispy Cock. That's what you expect me to say it, aren't you? Right, so that was another dry break. This time from Chimpy. Slim again looking for distance. And he hasn't got it. And that 8 ball has killed the cue ball, the 1 ball. And the other thing is, he's not hit a rail. So, the voodoo is starting to work again.
Yet online game is much better.
Well, if any of you's ever needed any proof that I very rarely play offline, you only had to see the end of that stream last night. Steve was trying to get me to set up that trick. What is it you call it again? Whatever the hell it is, the trick mode or the trick setup in the offline. I hadn't a bloody clue what I was doing. I've never ever looked at it.
Rep 1 Titian. Cool, maybe I'll check it out. Semi-Prof 4. That didn't sound how it's supposed to sound.
So the kick from Chimpy could have finished worse than this for him. This isn't easy. And obviously the cut is on in the 2. The cue ball's taking the right direction to go on the 3. There's a wee bit of pressure on it, but it's gone in. Oh dear, where's the cue ball finishing? Well, there's where it's finishing. Pretty much a full ball snooker if ever you're going to see one. And this match could turn on its head here. Well, he's not got to rail, so ball in hand once again for Chimpy, and
Interchange X.
They're all there for him.
Not sure why he tried to stay high of that 3.
Well, I scratch my head a lot of times at some of the shots I see. Players see things differently. In fact, the other thing is, if you don't keep going round the table to get behind a shot, you can't judge the actual angle that the player's looking at, and that's half the time how I get caught out, trying to guess where people are going. Well, there's another result through, and LS3 has beaten Z Karaoke in a final rack decider, 7 racks to 6. So he moves across to join Spectre Dawn among others in that one loss side. And who's going to end up there from this match? At the moment, that might be still debatable if Chimpy can see this rack through. So all you need to do here
Deist Nomad.
is make sure you have the angle in
Have
A.
you played Mooncake before?
And another result on the one loss side. Sylvia has survived. She's beaten Travelling TT by 4 racks to 1. So there's loads of results come through there. So this tournament is marching on.
Interchange X.
At a good pace.
Not in a match that I'm aware.
And just make sure he doesn't let this cue ball run loose. So he just dragged it off it to avoid the line for the scratch. And he's back to within 2. And he needs a roll of the ball here. A ball and a shot to really put the pressure on Slim. Five ball goes in, 7 ball goes in top right, and the 8 ball goes in bottom right, the 6 ball goes in bottom left. And look at this.
Probably close to even in random games.
He's absolutely dead in the 1 ball. And that's everything's went right in this rack bar the 1 ball. He's potted the 5, the 6, the 7 and the 8 on the break. And now it all hinges on this safety here. And he had to avoid the 2 because Slim is going to take this on.
Deist Nomad. Yep, hard match to call.
Yeah, this 2 is getting potted. And the cue ball will be the top side of the 2. Oh, that's painful for Chimpy. A cracking break. Ball's going in all over the place. And he gets the worst possible outcome. No shot in the 1.
Gotta run. Maybe BLF still streaming at 4. Deist Nomad. Oh wait, he's gotta play Fox first.
Right, see you later, Interchange X. What does streaming at 4 mean? You mean 9 o'clock Eastern time? Yes, I'll still be streaming at 9 o'clock. This tournament won't be finished that soon.
Gloria Victus Jape. Fox v Mooney also a close call.
So Slim just letting the cue ball run with a bit of helping spin, and he's going to see it through. Now that was unlucky for Chimpy. You were asking, just like I said, he's asking for a ball and a shot, and he got 4 balls and he got no shot, and that's unlucky. So Slim survives, he goes through. Let's have a look at this bracket, because we have been rattling in the results. They've been flying in left, right and centre here. We've got Bill. Bill's just gone through. What am I talking about? Bill's gone through 7 racks to 3 against Sylvia. Larry is playing Christian at the moment, and Christian's getting 6 and out. Larry's on the hill. LS3's just about to play One Pocket Slim. Let's have a look at this one loss side quickly. We have Bankster and Smoking Sid playing. Let's go into that one, because Bankster is getting the 7 ball, and he's just tied the match up for a final rack decider. And a couple of balls have gone in. Oh, I don't think he's going to have a shot in the 1 though. I know Bill would jump this every day of the week. Bill wouldn't even be looking at any kicking angle. He'd be straight out with the jump stick. He'd be over the top of that 3, and the 1 ball would be in the hole. The only problem is he wouldn't have a very easy shot on the 3 ball. And that might not necessarily be that good a push out there by Bankster. This, let's have a look. Oh, I don't think the 1 goes into the side, but he certainly had the potting angle down the rail. And again, you've got to be careful with your push outs. I mean, the worst thing that could have happened with the push out is he was going to get put back in, but oh well, I think the alcohol is playing its part, because Sid's missed the 3, and I think there's enough of this 3 to be seen to actually pot this. There certainly is. Pretty certain he can get enough of it, and then again, maybe I'm wrong. If it had missed the 8 ball, it would have been probably tucked away. Quick look at the 5. Well, if you were here, that 5 goes. If you're anywhere else, it doesn't. It doesn't go up table. The 7's blocking it. Fairly certain about that. Yeah. But he's played a nice little nudge, and he's got the break. But now the angle is so thin. How's he going to finish with any sort of shot on this 6 ball? I think he needs to hit something here and get lucky. I think. Oh, he needs to hit it harder than that though. And this is hard to get away from this 6 ball and keep distance between the 2. He could try cutting it to the short rail and it coming back up past the 8 and sending the cue ball over to the 9. That was the sort of, general idea, but I think he needed to get it thinner than that rather than as thick. So it has more or less gifted this match to Bankster, because all he needs to do is pot this 6 and 7. And Larry has gone through against Christian, 7 racks to 2. And Bankster, in a second or 2, will be cutting this into the side for the final rack decider win. So Bankster survives another round, and Smoking Sid can get back to the bottle if he wants. If he hasn't had enough yet, he can drown his sorrows. So let's catch up. Brain Pullout and Chimpy have started. Brain Pullout's won the first rack in that. He's getting the 5 ball again. Very dangerous handicap.
Rep 1 Titian. Is there a 10 ball match tonight on stream too?
No, there's nothing scheduled. But even if there was, I wouldn't be doing it because it's already way too late to start watching one. I've got to get up at 4 a.m. The matches are tomorrow night. We've got Bill and Larry just starting. We've got LS3 and One Pocket Slim just starting. And if I can remember what button it is.
This is VP4 TV. Here is a list of scheduled upcoming matches in this year's VP4 2022 World 10 Ball Championship. I will try and stream as many as I possibly can, although time zone differences will be an issue. I must thank those players who take this into consideration when arranging their matches. Please subscribe to my YouTube and Twitch channels to join in the stream chat.
Well, as you can see, those are the matches for tomorrow. The first one on the board is Bankster and Rabbi. That's way too early because I'm right in the middle of work at that time in the morning, so I won't be streaming that. You've got Mr. Fox and Mooncake tomorrow night, which is 8 p.m. British Summer Time, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific Time. That's a good match to be watching. I should be there for that one. And then the big one over the weekend is going to be Mal and Bedhead, which starts at, what the hell time's that? 6 p.m. BST, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. But an hour later, we've got
Slim.
Larry and Popman
Bedhead
going at it.
17 to 14.
And then there's the other 2 matches next week. So that's where we are at the moment. Let's go back to the tournament. Now, what match do we want to watch? We've got LS3 and Slim.
Rep 1 Titian.
Slim's up 1-0.
Nice. I sometimes watch Mal on YouTube.
We've
Good
got Larry
player.
and Bill. Well, I'm making my mind up. I'm going to watch Larry and Bill.
4. Need to get that finished with MC Clarkey.
Well, I have been dropping hints, semi-pro. What I would say to the two of you is, I think it would be unfair. This is my opinion, obviously, and MC Clarkey can do whatever he wants. But I think it'd be unfair on his part, and it wouldn't be wise for him to go back to snooker while he's still in this tournament. Because that's going to muck him about. He doesn't want to be jumping backward and forward from the snooker table to the 9-foot table when you're so focused on this 10-ball thing. You don't want to be chopping and changing mid-tournament. I think he should stick to the 9-foot table. I would hold off. That would be my advice to him.
I play him whenever he wants.
Yeah. So if he took my advice, he wouldn't play till he's out of this tournament. I mean, there's no rush to get the thing done anyway. So I mean, it's just a case of whenever he's happy to play. But as I say, tactical advice: stay away from the snooker table for the time being. So this match we have Bill and Larry, both from the States. Race to 7 on the winner's side, and Larry is he's getting the 8-ball as his extra money ball, but he's getting a gift from Bill, and Larry's going to be 2-0 up. Little bit of inside there again, just to hold the cue ball when it hit the short rail in the bottom and spin it back the way. Now we have a forfeit has happened here. Chimpy, I think, has had enough for the night. He's left the building, and Brainfill Out has won his match by forfeit. And Larry just finishing off with the 8-ball as his extra money ball for a 2-0 lead. Now, I think we'll have a quick look at this bracket again to see exactly where we are. We're into the third round. So round 3 and we're only at 20 past 8. That's not bad going. And that forfeit by Chimpy helps as well. So the push out has been played. Larry just trying to tuck the cue ball in behind the 8. And that's not bad. There might still be a line there to the right of that 4 ball to come down and hit the 1. But Bill, as I said earlier, shots like this where there's a gap like that, Bill will always fancy the jump stick. He just needs a roll of the ball to get away with it though. And he hasn't really, although this is still hampered right over the 3 ball. This is not pretty to line up and try and pot. These are horrible. And that's a well played shot by Larry.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
That was well played. Now, I think Larry's gone. Oh, no, there he is. I thought he had gone. Now, I think he's got to go forward here and come inside that 9 ball. It looks as if he's got enough to work with. And that is not a bad angle either. Now, does he want to put... I think he's got to put a wee bit of left on this so that he comes down this side. It might be dangerous. Yeah, because the 5 doesn't go anyway, so he's got to get down this side. And Larry hasn't got into it enough. He hasn't got into it enough. He knows he should have been a bit more beefy with the power to get that cue ball to track further over this side. He's left himself really awkward. Where's the cue ball? And he's recovered. Problem now is he has to stun and miss the 8 ball, which I think he should be okay to do. And the pace looks reasonably good. Maybe going a wee bit square. No, it's gone. It's gone to that point you don't want to be at. And he'll just nudge this in, I think. He knows he's going to hit the 9 ball, so he doesn't want to do anything where the 9 ball's going to run into the path of this 8 ball. He's going to leave a long cut in the 8 ball, I would think. I don't think he wants to risk trying to run this cue ball too far. And he's not made the cut. And so the reverse bank is there for Bill. Tell a lie, I thought that was a cue ball there. It's a 9. Well, it's all too easy now. And this is going to get Bill off the mark. It's funny how the text-to-speech doesn't do the Restream bot text that comes up on the screen. I've received 100 messages today with Restream chat. It doesn't convert that. That's strange. So into rack number 4 in this round 3 match. Larry getting the 8 ball as his extra money ball. Bill has potted a ball in the break. 6 ball is gone. No shot in the 1. Now, he's trying to squat past the 9. Has he actually hit the 1? Did he hit it? Yes, he did. And likewise for Bill, he's just trying to squeeze past. Oh, Bill's going to be in trouble now. The only thing with this shot that Larry's going to play is he doesn't want the 1 to bump anything. He wants the 1 to find a path clean if he's going to try and send it around and stop the cue ball there. He's trying to convince himself he could get enough it to cut it. I don't think he can. So this cue ball has to go, the one ball has to go clean. And that was always the problem. It's ran into the 4. And of course now, if Bill can get good on this too, and I say good, I'm talking about like that, because he can just come back with the cue ball and he's got a 3-9 combo, no problem into the side. And there's another result through in the one loss side. Spectre Dawn is still there. He's taken out Christian by 4 racks to 1. Oh, Bill's... I'm surprised at that. I mean, okay, he's playing the cut on the 3, but look where he's left. Look where he's left himself in the 4th. Why did he not come back and play the 3-9 into the side? Because he's doing a stub. He's now going to go all out for this down the rail as well, I think. Well, that was strange from Bill. I don't know what his reason was, because I couldn't see an obvious one as to why he didn't just come back off the 2 and leave that combo on the side. It wasn't difficult. But if he's going to keep doing this all night, why worry? But sooner or later, you're going to end up in trouble. And bigger trouble than you can maybe handle. But he's left the table and left Larry with a problem to deal with. Now Larry, if he jumps this, he needs to try and hope this 7 ball doesn't come back towards the 8. Well, he's got the distance, but the 7 ball hasn't gone safe. But this is still a testy shot. And he's played it well. And the angle's good. And Bill should be all square. Oh, cue ball. Wrong room. So, no sooner has Bill going to be looking at a 2-2 scoreboard than the commentator's curse kicks in and he finds himself 3-1 down. And that 9 ball is very dangerous where it's sitting. And Larry's break is dry. And Bill, well, he can get to the 1 now. Is he going to jack up and try and tuck the cue ball in behind the 8? No, it doesn't look like it. Well, that wasn't an easy shot if he was trying to cut it. And again, he can consider himself fortunate he hasn't left a shot really for Larry, because the 1 ball doesn't go anywhere up that end of the table. This needs to keep running, but it doesn't need to run too far. That's fine. And that's big trouble for Bill. Now let's have a look and see what it looks like from his end. That 6 ball is too far away to try and jump over it to get to the rail and knock the 1 in. I think that there is possibly a path where Bill's looking to go up and down. Yeah, he's just gone, oh, he's played it perfect.
Let's watch the replay of that last
I thought
shot.
he hadn't quite got it. I thought he'd got to the rail too soon. Look at where he hit it. Nearly the first diamond past the side pocket. But it worked. Oh, now he's ran straight into the 3. Well, again, he's got an easy safety as long as he can miss the 5 ball. But it looks as if he's playing loads of inside. I think he played it that way because he didn't want to bring the 3 really into play. But if he'd played it the normal way, he could have just spun down behind the 4 and 7. But that works as well. And Larry's got the right idea as long as he doesn't scratch. And that is good. But Bill is going to spin into it from behind. Oh, it might squirt out. Oh, I think it has done. Has it? Then again, maybe not. No, it hasn't. But the obvious was about to happen after that, though. Now, can he get round the corner and kick this? I think he can. He's got the hit. Where's the cue ball going? Well, it's a chance for Larry. And that 5 ball is so annoying where it's sitting. Because, Larry just wants to keep this simple and pot this and let the cue ball come back out. So now he might have to try and keep it inside the 5 and 6. You see, if it bounces too far, he's in bother. And he's going to have to jump over the edge of this 5. He's just blocked. Now, this cue ball's going to run towards the 8. If he hits it thin, he's fine. If he hits it thick, he'll be way inside the 6 ball, I think. It looks very close. And he's trying to stun behind it, and that was excellent.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Now again, the simple fact is Larry could see what was going to happen. And so he took evasive action and played the shot to take that hit on the 8 ball out of the equation. But he's got to get this flush. This is just off the rail. And he's home and dry. And he's finding himself 4 racks to 1 in front. In a strong position. And he's come up dry. Now, what's Bill going to have? Not a lot is the answer to that, but he might be able to chip this 1 ball in. He's got a bit of spin on it, and if he gets it nice, this is going to go inside onto the rail, and he's missed the edge. He had the idea right, but the spin just caught him out. Had he got the connection spot on with the spin, he would have cut that in, it would have went to the rail quickly and come out somewhere into the middle of the table. But it was a tough shot to execute and get it spot on straight away. So Larry now again has ball in hand. And, the real, if there's going to be any sort of problem, it's the 4 ball. Simply because it's blocked by the 7. And there's a high likelihood that he could just come back into the table and play the 4-7 combo. He might have an angle to try and... Well, he's going to leave it long. So now it's a little stun. Get the cue ball across. Got that all executed correctly. And now everything's fairly straightforward, dare I say it, for a 5-1 lead. Well, this just needs to tuck the 7 in and come out to the right. But not too far. And that'll do very nicely. And we have another result on the one-loss side, and it's a win for Bankster against C Karaoke. Bankster
Semi-prof 4.
has gone through
Larry playing quite well.
by 4 racks to 2. Yeah, I haven't seen any glaring errors from Larry, I don't think. None that stick in my mind. Apart from the fact that he's come up dry there again. But Bill is under pressure. Now, again, you've got choices as to where you play this 5 ball. He's just making sure he gets out into a line. Now the important one, again, you have to make a choice of where you're putting the cue ball. There's enough angle to squeeze a stun out of this, but it looks as if he's running around the table to take it to the side. And again, he's just overran it, so he's now in that in-between twilight zone. And it's a tricky little shot. Missed the 9 and he should be fine, and he has done. And the panic is over. Well, this has still got to be worked. Big distance between the cue ball and 8. And this might be in no man's land. And it is. It's one of them again. Make your choice. Cut it in the side. Or play the bank. Looks like the cut. And it's just caught the point. And Larry, well, no prizes for guessing what Larry's going to do. It's going to come into this pocket here. So it could be a big 2-rack swing here. And it is. And Larry's 1 away. That one-loss side might be moving too quickly, because they may well have to wait until the result of this one. Let's have a quick look. Where do we got to? Yeah, well, you've got Brainful out playing Bankster at the moment. They're just about to start. You've got Spectre Dawn, who's 3-2 up against Sylvia. And Sylvia getting what looks like the 6 ball. So that's a close one. And I don't think Bill's not gone far enough with the weight, because that 6 ball hit, he's hit it too heavy, and it's killed the pace. And this is Larry's chance, albeit nowhere near easy. But it's all about the 5 ball. If he can nail the 5 ball, he's home and dry. And he's now going to see Bill pinch another one here to survive another rack. It was all on the 5 ball. It was never easy, that 5 ball. But get it, and you're guaranteed you're going to run the rack. And mind you, I hadn't actually had a look at this 9 ball. I never looked at the 9. That is frozen. And Bill trying to get right on the rail. And he's got to get this and nick it clean, which he has done. And, well, this match didn't finish in time. I was hoping to get and catch the end of that Spectre Dawn Sylvia match. But it's all over. Spectre Dawn is rattling his way through that one loss side. He's beaten Sylvia by 4 racks to 2. And so one of these guys here, and at the moment it still looks like Bill, moving over to that one loss side. Bill's got first go at trying to survive another rack, but he had no real shot available there, but he's done the next best thing and trying to get cover, which he's got. I'll have a quick drink. Can find my bottle. And you know, when you're sitting one rack away and you're hoping to get like an easy starter, and Larry's not getting the easy starter, and Bill's going to jump himself over that. You know, Larry needs a straight in ball to get him a start and get his control of the cue ball, and he can't get it the last couple of racks. And Bill's just pinching one or two of these back. Larry's still the favourite. But with Bill having a table like this, you can only really expect one outcome.
Soren's son. It's Larry playing man.
Where's the cue ball? I think he's fine. Well, he's fine in the sense that he can see the 4. He's just too straight. So that's why he's having to just let the cue ball open up by running closer to the short rail at the bottom. And now with this one, the cue ball's heading over towards that 9 ball. He needs to miss it. And let's see what he's got to work with. That's fine. That's perfect. He just has to watch the weight. To do this 2 ways. He can spin it down or he could try and stun it down. And he should be fine as long as he doesn't do anything where he's over hitting the ball and coming over to this side pocket and scratching. In fact, I don't need to do that myself because I forgot he only needs the 8 ball. Forgot about the handicap again. So Larry's through by 7 racks to 2. So it's Bill that's going to have to battle the remainder of the one loss side. So we'll now get a catch up and see where we stand. We've got Bill just about to move through, which he's done, and we've got LS3 playing Slim, and Slim is on the hill. So let's try and catch the end of that match. It might be done. Well, it's just about to be. Well, Slim's looking good so far tonight. He's now through to the hot seat match, I think, with that win. And so it's Larry and Slim about to go at it. Let's have a quick look and see how things are shaping up.
Sorry Hugh, I have to forfeit my next match. I have to deal with an irate customer. If you would let the next person know, please. Thanks.
Okay, Bill, I'll do that. No problem. They'll just go into the room and wait. That's unfortunate, that, Bill. Well, I mean, if you're good at dealing with irate customers, you should be quick at it because it's only 1 rack all in that match, Bill. Get a move on, get it sorted out, and get back. And don't forget, you've got a 10-minute timer as well. What was I saying? Right, so we've got Spectre Dawn about to play LS3. We've got Bill who thinks he won't be back in time. I'm hoping he will be. It's horrible if that's going to spoil his tournament. But he should have a wee bit of time here. They're only one rack all, Bankster and Brain fell out. And we've got the match with Larry and Slim just getting underway. So we will jump in. What did I say they expected on? I think I know what we'll do. We're getting in to watch Spectre Dawn in LS3 while Larry and Slim go at it. I think this would be interesting to watch. And they're just about to lag off, just in good time. Race to 4, no handicap. So LS3 is, her game is most certainly improving. She's been getting good results recently in tournaments and been playing pretty strong stuff. Spectre Dawn winning the lag and breaking off dry again. I'm just wondering what Bill's irate customers complaining about. Maybe they've gone into the room and found a turd in the bed. That would make you irate, wouldn't it? Or maybe even worse, maybe they've gone into a room and found a dead body in a bed. You never know. It is the USA, isn't it? And the one ball goes in. Where's the cue ball going to finish? Because that 2 ball most certainly doesn't go.
Slim. Some people are never happy. Intel told ECT. Restream.io. Trophy, congratulations. You've received 100 messages today with Restream chat. Potman 66. Raccoons in the trash cans.
I heard that saying that in the chat there about 100 messages. But that's about an hour late since it appeared in the chat. That's weird. That's a bug. And what the hell's Popman talking about? Oh, you think that's what Bill's irate customers going on about? Raccoons in the trash can. Oh, where's the cue ball going? So, Spectre Dawn has got a problem to work out here because the 3 ball isn't going anywhere. Well, that certainly wasn't the line to get to the 3 ball and get a hit. Now, what you need to be careful with here is that you don't set something up if you're going to start just doing little tickles onto this 3 ball, because you could very easily leave some sort of combo. Now, that's a clever shot if it doesn't bump, and that's the only thing that was wrong with it. LS3 had the right idea. She was trying to come across the 2 rails to tuck behind the 4, but just got the weight wrong, and what's more, that has now brought the 4 into play. So there won't be any live stream tomorrow night as far as the Saturday Night Leagues are concerned, because I'm playing But that starts at 7 o'clock British Summer Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. We've got our second week of the 9-ball league nights or afternoons, depending where you are in the world. Now, did I get that all wrong there? How come LS3's back at the table? What did I miss there? Maybe I had got it wrong all along and didn't realise it was LS3 that was at the table, but she's going to win the first rack somehow or other. I've totally lost the plot. I don't know what happened. And that's me sitting watching the thing. Oh, I thought the 2-ball was going to get kicked in off the cue ball there, but once again we're dry.
Gloria Victus Jape. I never use kettles in hotel rooms. Gloria Victus Jape. I've heard some things.
What the hell are you doing in the stream when you're playing a match? So we've got a 2-6 combo for Spectre Dawn. Doesn't look all that difficult. And this rack should be over. Now, for some reason, he's doing a fair bit of looking around. I can't, for the life of me, work out what he's looking around for. He looks as if he's looking for problems that aren't there. I think he's maybe looking to see that he wasn't going to run into the 5. I think that's what he was looking at. I finally worked out what the problem might have been there. And he's missed the 5. He's got the cue ball high enough for the cut and the 3. Now, this is another one of these shots where you don't want to try and squeeze too much out of this 4-ball. I think he's got enough to work with here without taking liberties. So this is the one that's going to decide the rack. Coming down and getting nice on the 7. He's going to go 3 rails, and that's perfect. Just wants to get nice on this 8-ball where it's a stopper for the 9. And that's the general idea of playing the cue ball right there on the mark. Just kill it stone dead. So, we're tied up again. Let's see if Spectre Dawn can get a ball in the break this time. Well, they didn't exactly burst open. And it's another dry one. And I think LS3's coming to the table with not really an awful lot to entice her. There is a possible combo, but it's just as easy to tuck away this cue ball over behind the 8 if you can. And it hasn't travelled. I don't know whether she's trying to use the 3-ball or the 8, but she's got cover, but it's not difficult.
One pocket slim. I just hope the numpty that won this thing last week doesn't win it again, K.
Well, it did work because Spectre Dawn didn't even hit the 1 ball, which is a surprise. Now, what numpty won it last week, Slim? It wasn't yourself, was it? reasonable enough table here for LS3. Now what's this angle like in the 3? Now this is just, again, miss the 8 ball was the important part with that shot.
One pocket slim. Yup, that numpty.
Oh well, you're still in it then. Could be 2 in a row. You're going to upset Spectre Dawn here, Slim.
Hog. Set the mofo. All noobs will be smoked K.
Oh, it's Blind Hog. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Well, it's definitely evening or afternoon. Oh, now, I think this is going to be a long 8 ball. It most certainly is. Wrong side of the 7. Needs to get off the rail. Now, you drop the 8 ball in, you drop the 9 into the side. That way you're not moving the cue ball.
One pocket slim. Get in my room quick. Larry is playing too well tonight K.
Well, she's ran through, come up, got the pace, and got it perfect. Well, I have to watch this match first, Slim. I'll come in and try and jinx Larry if he hasn't already beaten you. So, LS3 back into the lead, but remember it's only a race to 4 in this one lost side, so this could be over in the blink of an eye. And LS3 spotted the 1
I'm
and the
pulling
6.
for LS3K.
The 3 ball is going nowhere at the moment. Well, it needs a bump, let's put it that way. And she's going to have to dig into this. And if that 8 ball stays out of the way, which it hasn't, it's rolled into play. And now LS3, well, you don't want to be tucking the 3 ball just to the short rail because Spectre Dawn's going to play the combo in the 9 if you do that, if you're listening. That's my tactical advice. Or he'll play a billiard onto the 9, one of the two. Got to be aware of that. If it keeps rolling, well, LS3 is going to be in trouble again, that's obvious, but at least the cue ball has gone safe. And, well, even if Spectre Dawn had got it nailed to the 4, it wouldn't have made any difference because it's still an easy kick. And this has got a chance that LS3 might get lucky here if she can get this line, send it up towards the 9.
Interchange X. He could have done a lot more with that.
And it's worked again for LS3. She's left it safe. There's another result through in the 1 loss side. Bankster survives another match. He's taken out Brainful out by 4 racks to 2. Meanwhile, Spectre Dawn trying to find cover behind the 4 or the 8. And that works very nicely. But again, it's an easy hit. And the only thing LS3 has to be wary of is if you pick that line and you go there and you kick the 3, the cue ball goes that direction into that hole. That's the only thing you've got to worry about. Now, she may well be trying to jump and cut this in at distance. And if it works, and she's caught it from behind, but she might be getting away with it again here. Well, oh dear, it's a foul. What did she catch there? She must
Interchange X.
She must have caught a
Fouled
ball.
the 8.
I just caught the 8. I never even noticed that. I was too busy looking at the 3 ball. Well, this is most certainly going to be all square now, I would think. I wonder if I think Spectre Dawn really wants to get inside this 7 ball, so he's just cutting it up past the 9, and then again he looks as if he's going to play it off the 9. Is he? I would have thought he'd have just wanted to finish sort of there, where he was rolling it up past the 9, but now it looks as if he's cutting it past the 9. I thought he might have been playing it in off it, but that works. Definitely all square now, so it's anybody's game, any possibility for the outcome. But Spectre Dawn will have first go if he can eventually get a ball and a shot on the break. And there's definitely something has gone in. The 1 ball has gone in as well, but unfortunately the other ball in was the 2, and the 3 ain't going anywhere, plus the 8 ball is blocking his path to just chip the edge of that 3. So it's going to be the push out, I would think. What's
interchange X should push off the 8.
Well, you see this shot here, if LS3 can get this right,
interchange X
really thin,
too easy from there,
really thin. Again, it's got to be cigarette paper thin and have the right weight on this cue ball. This is why they're tricky, these shots. See, that's way too thick. Because I'll tell you why. There's enough of the 3 ball showing, and this is going to be cut every day of the week by Spectre Dawn. 4 balls wide open, and that shot from distance, you've got to risk getting the thin edge. And if she'd got that, it would have been a far better safety. Just got that 3 ball too thick. And if this bumps the 8, well, it hasn't. But it's still a reasonable enough shot for Spectre Dawn. And if he gets this and gets on the 5, he's going to be on the hill. Let's have a quick look and see how things are going. Well, if we move across, we'll be able to see Larry is 4 racks to 2 up against Slim, while Spectre Dawn finishes off rack number 5 here. Now, where can this go wrong? 8 ball wide open. Well, it almost went wrong because that 7 ball wiped its feet 2 or 3 times before it went in. But he's fine. Just kill the cue ball or come back or go off the rail, whatever he wants to do. And once again, Spectre Dawn is hoping to get something happen for him on this break. I don't think Spectre Dawn's has really very good breaks in what I've seen of him tonight. Well, this time, I think that was the 9 that's gone in. It will come back up. But once again, he's got no shot. So, another push out. Now, from this right hand side, like even from there, this is still an easy enough safety for LS3. The 4 ball gets used as a stopper. But I think it's not such a good idea to try and get down to the bottom rail. I think she's got to try and get into this line And I think that's the idea she has. And that's unlucky. That was good thinking, because this was the cover somewhere in this line, and it just caught that knuckle and went back across the other one, and it's left a shot perspected on. So that was an unlucky bounce there. But again, it was the right idea to try and use cover from that left side. Oh, well, I wasn't expecting that.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
He's right in the pocket and jacking up, trying to dig into the cue ball and come over to the 2, which he managed to do. But, you know, when you start elevating the cue and digging in, you can always put that little bit of spin and cut across the ball, which is what he's done. LS3 has got a similar problem. She's nailed to the rail and trying to get out of that corner. And this might not finish too nice. It hasn't. This is a delicate little shot. She knows what she wants to do here, but it's just a tricky little one to execute. And got to stay in the table. Well, it could have finished worse. I mean, the 7 ball's blocking it to the corner pocket. The 2 will cut to the side, or it will cut up there, but either of them, I wouldn't fancy any of them. I think it will, in fact, tell a lie. I don't think it doesn't cut to the side, because I don't think he can get enough of it. He's looking to jump this. He's looking to cut it in the side with a jump stick, I think. And he's running out of time because he's lost his extension.
Interchange X. Back cut to corner looks like a scratch.
That's it. Oh, that was a good effort, but he scratched off the 3. And LS3 has ball in hand, right behind the 2. And of course she needs to take this out to survive and take it all the way. Now, that's not nice, but it's simple enough that she didn't have to do anything with the cue ball. Nice angle left on the 4. Going to drop right behind this 5. Oh, you got to get there. Now, again, what do you decide to do? I mean, you can come across on the top side of the 6 and run it down into this bottom right hand corner, or you can try and come back across like that. And she's got the weight control pretty good. Now from that angle, it's just go through off the long rail. And this is another one of these ones where you have to make a decision. And I think she's a wee bit straight for comfort. Yeah, there's an angle there, but not a lot. So again, it's about controlling the pace. That was excellent.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
That's excellent control.
Brain fell out. Beautiful. Repetition. Nice.
So now we are hill.
Interchange X. Yeah, I've screwed that one up so many times.
I mean, those shots are difficult to control. But she couldn't have played that any better. And she's got a couple of balls in the break. The 2 and the 4 have gone. Very thin cut in the 1. Because again, you've got to just hit the pace in this. And the cue ball's going to be going across the table. And then you have to hope you can see the 3. And the inevitable has happened. Now this is not difficult to hit. Good bit of right English on it. And easy enough to hit the 3. It's a big, big target to hit. Now, I don't know. Am I out of sync here? LS3 says, now I hope you meant it. But it's been LS3 that's been in the table. I don't know. I hope to God I'm not out of sync. Right, I'm going to leave the room and come back in. That just got me confused, that bit of text. No, I'm right enough. I'm fine. Well, Spectre Dawn, you would think is going to survive. And don't forget, Spectre Dawn's been over on this one loss side right from the off. He lost the first match. And he's been fighting his way through the one loss side all night. And again, it's going to take a big error not to complete the job. But it was a good little match to watch this. LS3's playing very good. She's really improving. Well, it's gone to that spot this time. I mean, this is one you just do not want. And if you get this wrong and try and just draw this slightly, you could even still scratch. But he's found a line. And this match is going to go to Spectre Dawn. Yeah, he's a tough guy to beat. So Spectre Dawn marches on. And unlucky for LS3, but nothing to feel bad about. It's only a race to 4, and you know what happens in these matches. So let's, without further ado, get in and see how things are going here. Well, if you're in Slim's corner, they're not going too well, but he might have ball in hand here. That might be a foul. And then again, yes it is. So Slim has ball in hand. But Slim's got a mountain to climb. But of course it isn't over for Slim either. If Slim loses this, then he's going to fight his way through Spectre Dawn over on the one loss side. Let's have a quick look at the bracket while this is going on, because that rack's pretty much done. Yeah, Bankster is playing Spectre Dawn, so the winner of that match is going to play the loser of this match, which at the moment looks as if it's going to be Slim, but you never know. And the other thing to also pay attention to, which I half the time don't, is that Larry is getting the 8 ball. Oh, now, that was the thing I forgot about. Yeah, Bankster's already been advanced. I forgot all about that. Obviously, Bill never get anywhere near back in time, so that's unfortunate for Bill. So Slim is back to within 2. He's broke. He's pot the 7 ball has gone. He's got this cut in past the 8 ball. That was a nice shot. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups again. I need to have a drink again. I think it's drinking that probably gives me the hiccups. Now that 2 ball was well played, because that wasn't a gimme. Oh, yeah, that was the other thing. I've been asking this the last 2 or 3 streams since I've had these issues. Is there any complaints about the quality of the stream tonight? Is everybody happy? I haven't heard anything, so the assumption is that everybody's happy. If there's anybody still there.
Brain fell out. All good here.
Excellent.
Rep 1 Titian. Been perfect.
That's even better news. And the good news for Larry is that my voodoo started working immediately. I joined the room because Larry didn't get the hit on that shot he was trying to play. He played a foul, and it's been all Slim since then. And Slim is back to within 1. Now that 8 ball has just tracked in, but look at where the cue ball's finished. It couldn't be any worse. And
Hog. Sounds Liek Hog POOK.
And Slim's played the push out, and he's going to be put back in again, I would think. Sorry, not Slim.
Bill Glennon.
Am I out of sync here?
No problem, just a black bear in the park.
Oh, right. Is that the irate customer you're talking about, Bill?
Hog.
An irate bear.
LOL. Now, it's perfect here, pal.
Where's this cue ball finishing? Well, what a result there for Slim. Well, the ball's starting to roll for him now as well. So this...
Bill Glennon. That's what it was.
This match is in the balance here. And Larry has jumped for the escape, but he's left the one on. Now, Slim knows he's going to be hitting the 2, so I think he's got to be gentle with this. He doesn't want the 2 ball to get bumped to the short rail and go back into the table and have no shot, and he's played it exactly the way I would have played it. So the problem, if there's going to be one, it's certainly going to be the 7 ball, especially where the 6 ball is. So this match could very much be decided in the next couple of shots if Slim can't get there on this 7 ball.
Hog. Is that MR Bill?
Yeah, that's MR Bill, yeah. It's funny how it doesn't recognise that as Mr. Bill. Do you know what I mean? You have to type in Mr. rather than MR. If you type in Mr, it will recognise it as Mr. So here's the shot that's make or break, and I think Slim has got himself pretty straight in this 6 ball. So he doesn't have an awful lot of options. He's going to try and get into a spot, and this is going to be really not the best of places to be.
It's Mr. Sick.
It goes past the 9, I think. But he's still got to pot the 9, that's the problem. Oh, he's got the line perfect with that one.
Slick Willie.
And he's nailed it on the 9 fairly well.
Shot.
So, Slim was crying out for me to come into the room.
Unreal.
And since I've come into the room, Larry's had nothing, as far as I can remember. And I think the 9 ball's gone again. If there was any more than 1 ball went in, the 9 ball, yeah, it was just the 9 ball that has gone. So Slim stays at the table, the 9 ball comes back up, and look at this table. And Larry's going to be cursing me. Now, here's the name of a guy that came into the room there. Dab, dab, dab. No, it was Dab, dab, abab. Dabba, dabba, dabab. 405 has left the room, or has left. Well, it's some comeback for Slim. Again, since I joined the room. Oh dear. I hope Larry doesn't come into the stream. You guys all witnessed it. When as soon as I joined, Larry played the foul. And then it's been all Slim since then.
Rep 1 Titian. Has he had a shot since you joined?
I don't remember.
LUL.
I don't remember. He might have had one shot. I don't know whether it was a jump or a kick that he had to play, but if Slim can get onto the spot.
That's a lot of dabs, K.
Yeah, and he's got on the spot just up by the side pocket or just before it. And Slim, who's looking for 2 Friday night 9 balls in a row, I have saved his bacon. The curse of the voodoo has done for Larry. And Slim goes through on the final rack decider. 7 racks to 6.
Yep, he gonna hate you now, K.
And Larry was he was 4-2 up, I think, when I looked at it. And unfortunately for Larry, that other match finished and I came into the room and that was it. It was all over. So now we know where we stand. We've got Slim defending his Friday night 9 ball title this week, having won it last week. And I think I might be wrong, but I think it was Spectre Dawn in the final last week, and it still has that possibility this week because Larry's lying in wait. Slim can go and have a coffee, and Bankster and Spectre Dawn are going at it, and at the moment it is not looking good for Spectre Dawn because he's 3-0 down. Bankster getting a 5 ball, and well, Spectre Dawn cannot make any mistakes now, and he's got this positional shot to play still to get on the 9, and he's got there, so he's off the mark. And that against Bankster, a 5 ball is really, really dangerous. Well, Spectre Dawn's completed the first part of the job there, and that was to pot a ball. And the 8 ball has gone. How do you fancy this for a cut up the rail? As you're looking at it in the side, that's way too thin for the side pocket.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Well, he's given it a fair bit of attention. I'm thinking he's cutting it off the table. I can't believe it's going in the side. Well, he has played it in the side, but in some sort of way it's like a 2-in-1 shot because he was always going to have a shot in the 2. But he has left a cut for Bill, and not Bill, Bankster. Bankster's not going to refuse this, I don't think. He's got to go for it. No, he's not. He's trying to duck. And if you're going to duck, you've got to make sure you get the cover. And that was the first priority, and he's got there. And that was well done. I thought he would go for that, but he's prepared to wait for another time. But he had to back himself there. If you're deciding to do that, you must get cover. And well, Spectre Dawn will be happy with the outcome of that. One ball stone dead in the rail. And again, Bankster has balls for cover down here, but this is a dangerous shot. He's used English, I think, just to try and cut it down. But look at how that's reversed off the rail.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Look at how it reversed off the rail. Now, what does Spectre Dawn do here? Again, this is a very, very thin cut. But he's just trying to keep things tight, and that's a good shot. Not a difficult hit for a kick, but at least it's a full snooker. And of course, Baxter can go to the short rail easily enough, I think. Or can he see an edge of this? No, he can't. Well, what's he doing? Well, that wouldn't have been what I would have tried. I would have taken the risk of kicking it up the table. And all he's done is given Spectre Dawn an open table and a chance to nip another one of these racks back that he needs so desperately. So this has to be reasonably good on this 5 ball. So 4 ball to 5, but he needs enough angle to work with off this 5 ball. It's not just about potting the 4 ball and being able to see the 5. Let's see what he ends up with. Well, this is going to have to be punched in. Now, he's looking past the 9. I mean, that is tight. And that's why he's got into it, to get it into the side. And that, again, was a sensible shot to play. So it's going to be 3-2. How's the break going to go? Well, the balls are flying around. 3 balls going in, 7's gone in. 2 ball has got the cue ball nailed to it, but a strong likelihood of a billiard here, or a billiard attempt off this 1 ball. But that 5 ball is not sitting great for a billiard, and he's refused it. Because if you hit that 5 ball, it's just going to go around the angles into the 8. So Spectre Dawn is giving Baxter something to contemplate here, but he's not taking any risk. But somebody's going to take a risk, the way this 1 ball's bumping about here. Some sort of billiard may well end up being played. And there's a chance now for Baxter. That could be a mistake, but Baxter's, is he going to take the bait? No, he's not. It's going to happen sooner or later, I would think. And if not, somebody's going to have to risk it. I mean, you can easily double kiss this all night and just come back across to the other long rail. But somebody's going to have to take a risk, and it's Baxter. He must get the cover though. And that is a good shot. But does Spectre Dawn want to try and kick this one and run onto the 8 like that? And that's unlucky. That is unlucky.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
He was almost there. It just went inside. So the outcome though was good. It's going to have to be a jump escape here for Bankster. And it can be cut into the side. Oh, that's excellent.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
That is beautiful. And he's got a cut in the two, albeit not easy. Oh, how's he looking here? Well, he can see the four, but look at the line that he's got in the four. It's bolt straight. And he only needs the 4 and 5. He's got to dig this out. Is he trying to pinch a bit to spin it? He's thinking about it, I think. No, he's not. But if he pinches it, he can still hang this up in the jaws. Oh, now he needs a bounce. He needs a roll other than a double kiss like that. Well, same again. Just a little double kiss. Because you've then got to play an excellent safety to thin off that 5.
X.
And
kick it home.
Spectre Don's going for the kick this time. And then it goes. Well, this cue ball, is he going to just let this run all the way forward? Or is he just going to make sure the pot in the 6 and then leave the awkward cut in the 8? This is where you have to decide what you're prepared to do. You know, if he pots that's running that sort of way towards the side pocket. Yeah, he's got the top on it, and that was the right shot. He's playing the 8 at distance, but he really and truly only needs to just roll this in and then roll the 9. But is he coming back? Nope, he's just going to take my advice. Well, Bankster was unlucky, but again, it was because he was dead straight that he came back. Any half ball in that what was it, the 5 ball, and he would have been over the line. But as it is, it's final rack decider time again, folks. And Spectre Dawn with the break. And again, the ball has flown into a corner off the break, I think. But once again, this 1 ball and cue ball aren't running nice. But look at the table. It's all on this 1 ball. And Spectre Dawn may well be looking at the table thinking the same thing. He's got the possible bank. He's got a reverse bank past the 2 as well, but none of them are easy. And now he's hoping he gets cover, and he hasn't. And so Bankster has his chance. This 1 ball's well off the rail, and he just needs to dink it in, and he'll have the 2 into the side. You just need to pocket weight in this and nothing else. Well, I would have hit it a bit softer than that, because now he's got to run the cue ball. And I don't necessarily like the line in this. Let's see. I'm trying to convince myself this is going to miss the 3. Well, it has missed it. Just. And this needs a firm little stun, or is he can go forward for safety and around the corner now. So remember, the line that he's got now, he's not gone. Is he gone far enough?
No guts, no glory.
Can he pot this and still hold the line to make this 5? It's touch and go. Yes, he can. And so it is going to be Bankster who's taken out Spectre Dawn. Spectre Dawn, fair play to him. He's battled all night in this 1 loss side. But when you come up against somebody who can pot balls like Bankster can always get used to this handicap, which is really dangerous given a 5 ball to him. And so he goes through 4 racks to 3. And what time is that? We've just gone 9:35 here. So the tournament's been on a couple of hours, 2.5 hours. And we now have our semi-final match, or our one-loss final match. And once again, Larry's got the same problem as Spectre Don. And it's exactly the same, although I think this time Bankster's getting a 6 ball, which 5 or 6 ball, it doesn't matter, it's still not nice to have to face that. Meanwhile, One Pocket Slim awaits in the final. And the Bankster Larry room has gone up. And in fact, they are underway. Bankster won the lag and broke off. He's potted the 8 ball in the break. And he can't see the 1 ball. Now, he's called a push out. Well, Larry here has got the enticement for the pot and the 1. He can run it. He can run into the 6 and the 3 ball, knowing that he's got to be on the 2. The 3 and 6 are there as a combo anyway, but if he nudges them, it won't matter. He's got a shot in the 2. So Bankster left the bait there for Larry, and Larry's like a great white shark when he's annoyed. If you put the bait out for him, he's going to feast, and it's going to be, well, commentators curse, folks.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Repetition. Mr. Jinx strikes again.
You couldn't write the script, could you? It's going to be
One Pocket Slim.
It's going to be a 5-9
Hugh,
combo.
what do you have against Larry? Smiley face.
I mean, you wouldn't believe it. There's people still doubt my abilities. And well, Bankster, I think he's getting a clean shot on it. I mean, I'm giving Larry the big build up there, with Bankster having left him that 1 ball, and Larry pots the 1, gets, breaks the 2 balls up table, finishes in the 2, and all he has to do is pot the 3 and clear the rest of them, and he hangs it up. I forgot that Bankster needed the 6 ball and not the 5 ball there, but my voodoo is working big time against Larry. Maybe if I go to the bathroom, maybe that'll clear it up. I'm going to take a break for a minute. I'll be back in a second. Right, I'm back. I think I must drink about 1.5 litres of water each time I do these live streams. And then if you drink 1.5 litres of water within a couple of hours, then it only has one direction to go. So, where are we? We're back to 1 rack all. Larry breaking rack number 3. And again, only a race to 4. So blink and you miss it. Where's the 7 ball going? And Larry's dry. And Bankster has a shot. And remember, Bankster needs to the 6 ball. So the second, oh dear, well, oh goodness me. Well, I think Bankster's sort of maybe showing a wee sign of wear and tear there, because again we're 2 hours and 40 minutes into this, and that was a bad miss, because he didn't need to do anything with the cue ball other than pot the ball and make sure he could see a cut in the 2. The 7's always going in.
Interchange X. Bank and open the 4.
Yep, 4 wide open now. I mean, whenever there's an opportunity to improve a situation, when you know you've pretty much got a guaranteed shot, and you're on that ball where you've got where you've got a cluster or a ball locked up somewhere or in an awkward place, then if you can bump it, you've got to take that risk. And Larry spotted it right away, but I think he's done his best there to create a problem. He's run into the 9, and well, I think he's fine. The 5 ball's still good. I think he's deciding whether he's going to. I mean, it looks fair enough just to roll it up or roll it down towards us. See, this is the problem. This is going to have to go 1, 2, 3, possibly 5 rails to get onto this 5 ball. 1, 2. It's going to. Is it going to get there? Is it going to get there past the 6? No, it's not. He didn't quite get the line. And his weight was pretty nigh perfect, but that 6 ball went in the way, he's just killed it. Now, what's he looking at? Trying to tuck away, and that's got Bankster a problem. Again, it's not difficult to hit the 5, it's just where it ends up. Look at the 6 ball, goodness me.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Oh dear. Look at the 6 ball. Would you believe it? Oh.
Rep 1 Titian. Kickster.
So all of a sudden, it's 2-1 to Bankster. He's broke dry though. And he's also left Larry no easy shot to start. And, I mean, he can feather the 1 on the left side, or he can play the push out. But the thing is, though, he's now left that shot for Bankster. If Bankster wants to risk it, he can feather the 1, try and get to the long rail on the left, and tuck behind the 4 or the 9 and use either of them. He needs to get it really thin though and just drop through. Well, he's played the combo, that's even better.
Interchange
Let's
X.
watch the replay of that last
That was
shot.
smart. He potted the hanging 6.
Yeah, because Bankster's missed the 1, but that's like, well, that 6 ball isn't dead where it's sitting. That can certainly be got at. And you would think that that's pretty much going to decide this rack. So it's not a gimme, this opportunity here for Larry because he's got to get up onto 3 first of all. Now, it would be crazy to try and do anything with this 6 and 7 ball and still be on the 5. I think he's trying to come across it. He's got inside right. Yeah, he's trying to come across it. And that's a good shot. I'll tell you why, because not only getting a little nudge in the 9, because he's also finished plumbing this 5 ball to come around the corner for the 6. That was excellent. But Larry has juiced that up big time. I mean, that should have been there. He's ran it 2 foot too far. He's still got a cut, but I'll tell you, he didn't plan on this. And it's caught the point. But Bankster is going to have to go up and down, I think. I mean, is he going to risk the jump from there? Let's have a look. I mean, it's a big target to go up and down and kick this in. He's trying to spin it. He's trying to spin it. He's got it. He's got it. He was quite comfortable playing it. But that shot by Larry there, he did everything right to get on that 5 ball. And then controlling the pace off the 5 is what caught him out. And that's the one big loose shot that Larry's played. And it could cost him big time because Bankster's on the hill and Bankster's at the table. And he's on the 2. The 3 is there. And if he can get out... Now, the problem here is potting the 3 and getting it out into the table. Because that 8 ball's in the way. That's the only concern I've got about how he leaves himself on this 3. Well, that's excellent as well, because that's now got any possibility of blocking his way out into the table. It's gone. He's going to be on the 4, and the 5 goes past the 8 anyway. So he needs to just keep his focus. This 5 ball, or the cue ball, is going to go to the rail. Come back out into a line where it's simple enough to just be potting this 5, stopping the cue ball for the 6, and that'll pretty much do it. That's what the doctor ordered. Is he going to be hampered any? Well, he is slightly, but he's got to be watching that he's not fiddling around with the cue on this ball because he could have put spin on it accidentally here. See, he's bringing the tip down, and you see that's what happens.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
That's exactly what happens. As soon as you start moving it so that you're not miscuing, you've got to watch the line that you're taking. Because what you're then doing is putting unwanted English on the cue ball, you're cutting across it. And that's what happened. What am I doing here? That button. Not that button, that one. And that was asking for trouble. Just been hampered over that ball. Oh, goodness me.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
It's all happening here, folks. You wouldn't believe it. You couldn't write the script, but Bankster now has to pot the 8 and 9, and look at where the 8 is, stuck right in the pocket. And this makes this a difficult shot to control. The question is whether you try and use any rail.
One pocket slim.
He's
Someone
just
get
off.
Larry a chicken or something to sacrifice to take Hugh Hex off.
Oh, look at this. Look at where he's finished. Plumb on the 9.
Rep 1 Titian.
But Larry's got to be kicking himself with that 8 ball. I mean, that's amazing. And don't forget, he asked for trouble when he was on that 5 ball in the previous rack. He got himself out of line, left himself a tough cut, and then he's hung the 8. But that's how things go. I've said it loads of times on Friday Night 9 Ball. If you're giving Bankster a 5 or a 6 ball, and you're giving him that, and you start making mistakes, you're doomed to failure. You're going to lose, because he's going to take more of them than waste. So anyway, we'll get confirmation that Bankster is now through to face One Pocket Slim. And again, Slim has to be careful, because Bankster's back to getting the 5 ball again. So we've got tonight's final against, One Pocket Slim against Bankster. And it's a race to 9. The room is up. They're probably just lagging off, and they're well underway in the first rack. So Bankster, player 2, being given the 5 ball. Slim in his second Friday Night 9 Ball final in a row, looking to defend his title. And Bankster looking to cause him problems. And he's tried the little cut in the 2, but the billiard onto the 5 there that didn't come off. Slim's having second thoughts here. He's looking at the room that the 2's got, and that 2 will go. The problem is, though, there's very little room to manoeuvre. Now he's looking at the cut on the 2 onto the 3, and then he might have been trying everything there, because he had to go at the 9 ball as well. I think that's what he was trying. I thought he was trying the 2 at the 3, but he may have been trying to chip the 9 ball in. Well, that hasn't worked. Where's this cue ball going?
Where's the cue ball going?
That's what I asked there, John. So, this time, without a shadow of a doubt, unless he does something crazy, gets Bankster off the mark. And again, I could hear a ball flying in on the break. Haven't a clue what one it was. It was the 3 ball. He's plumb on the 1. The 2 ball's going nowhere fast unless he can get a nice little controlled draw, and he hasn't quite. He's just a wee bit short. The problem also is that he's running towards the 5 and 6, and the 4 balls out into the table. So this is not conducive to being a good positional shot unless he gets a lucky roll or a kick, and that cue ball comes back into the table. I don't know that he's got that thin a cut that he can whip this in. I'm not really sure what he tried. Did he try to... Well, it looks as if he tried to bump it up the table and spin in behind the 6. He almost got there. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And this is not an easy chance for Slim. Now, bearing in mind that Bankster's money ball is a 5, well, that's a good shot to start with, though, but it was really just to make the pot. It was never going to guarantee him any sort of decent shot in the 4. But the 5 is blocked by the 6. But then again, the 5 and 6 are dead. That is a dead set combo. And Slim just trying to duck. He hasn't really got tight onto that 8 ball. And it's not a difficult hit in the 4, it's just about how it finishes up. And then now you're hoping you get a lucky roll. Well, this cue ball's still travelling, and it's opened past the 7. Now Slim's problem is that he's got just enough angle. The problem is it's enough angle to run forward and go to the side rail, but is it enough angle that's going to let him come right into that 6 and 5, which is not really what he wants to do. That's the problem with this shot. And he's pretty close to the rail, so he's going to run forward. But is he going to try and hit them? I don't think he could really avoid it. Well, that's worked out nice if he doesn't hook himself behind the 7. Because now he can have a clean go at the combo, which, again, there's no way on earth he should be missing this if he's had a good look at it. But it was touch and go as to whether he was going to be able to get around that corner and avoid running into them. And it's worked fine. And dead weight gets Slim on the board. Well, pretty much so if he can get the 5 in and keep the cue ball on the table. He should. He's got to miss the 9 or the 8 if he's coming up and down the table, which it looks like he's going to do. He's going to have to get the pace in it. But he's run into the 8. So now it's the cut up the table or the cut down the table, whichever way you want to look at it. I always call this part of the table down the table from the end that we're looking at. I always call that down the table. Whereas you should be calling it down the table from the kitchen end. Well, in most cases, this is the kitchen end, but that's not the same in every room that we go in, I don't believe. I think the 10-footer's the other way around. I might be wrong. I can't remember as a matter of fact. But anyway, Slim's missed the 8. Bankster should... I think I've cursed Slim there by saying he should be all square when he was on the 5 ball, because that jinxed him. And Bankster's going to have a 2-0 lead. Dry break City. Well, again, it is obvious where the problem ball is. The problem ball is the 5 ball, so let's have a look. Well, I say a problem. There's loads of room to get it past that 6. So there isn't a problem. All you've got to do is get on it half decent. And just squeeze it past the 6. Because you don't have anything to do with the cue ball to get on the 6, which is handy. What you don't want to do is get not a great line on that 5 ball, and then you end up cutting it and catching the 6 ball. Now where he is there, he should be fine. Well, it's just caught it, and it's still gone in. Well, he's overjuiced that slightly, but it shouldn't be a problem other than he's running away from the 8. Well, I say again, it shouldn't be. I think he can still go through, but he's taking his eye off the ball.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Because that little voice was in his head telling him where the cue ball was looking like going, and that's why he's taking his eye off it. It's amazing what happens. Well, that's exactly what happens when that little voice in your head tells you
Rep 1 Titian.
the line's not
The
great.
curse passes to Slim.
And oh goodness me, what's Bankster done? And he's returned a favour. And this is getting crazy, and we're only in the third rack. We've had 2 brain farts there in the space of 30 seconds. Well, it should be 3-0 to Bankster. He might regret that. And Slim's break, I think that's dry. And this cue ball, I think, yeah, he's got enough room.
Bill Glennon. Who's in the hot seat?
He can come over this is the final, Bill. He can come over that with a jump and get the 1 ball, no problem. And he's landed very nicely on the 2 into the side. 3 ball is there, nothing to do with the cue ball. And remember, and I keep saying this to remind me more than remind you guys, Bankster's getting the 5 ball. So he's home and dry here unless again he does something crazy. Just a little dink in, no pace on it. And if he comes out a wee bit further, he'll take it into the side. If he leaves it like that, he'll roll it into the top. And the 5 ball sitting there asking to be knocked in. And it's 3-1. But it should be 4-0. You know, let's remember that. It should be 4-0 to Bankster. And once again, a ball has gone into the corner. 4 balls get in, the 2 balls get in. And the 8 ball has gone in. The only problem is he ain't got a hole to put the 1 ball in. Look at that. He can't get it past the 5. He can't get it past the 9. He can't get it past the 6. That needs to keep going to the rail. It needs to keep going. And that's not bad. It's not bad, but Slim's still going to cut it. Or he's going to have a go at it. No, he's not. Slim's feeling the pinch. And that's got pressure on Bankster here, because there is distance between the 2 of them. But, I mean, the safety shot is to send it across to here and the cue ball here, but you don't want to be leaving a bank, because there is a bank past that 5 ball into the side if he does that. Oh, he's gone the other way. He's gone the other way. What a shot.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
He's reverse banked it. And that was excellent. Oh, he's having to kick. And that's excellent as well.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
And it's the 5 ball for a 4-1 lead. No, it's not. It's Slim. I'm totally losing the plot. You've got to remember, it's that time of night. My brain has gone. My brain's gone to bed. How's this looking in the 6 ball? Well, he's dead straight. I think he's just got to nurse this in and go through. I don't think he should risk doing anything. And common sense has prevailed. I'm thinking it was Bankster that was at the table and it's Slim. But it's going to be not 4-1 like I thought it was going to be. It's going to be 3-2 to Bankster. 3 ball in the break. 9 ball thought about following it. Look at where the 1 ball's going. Look at this. Now he's got to punch this big time to get it to cut the 9. That's what he's trying, I think. He's got to get it punched into the rail to make the cut. He's not got much room to manoeuvre. But that looks like what he's doing. He's cutting across the 1 to cut the 9. That's a shot, because he can't billiard the 9 in. There's no room. There is no room. It's way too thin. And he's played it well. In fact, he potted the 1 as well. So suddenly, it's 3-all.
Oof.
And that looks dry. It's dry, and Bankster should have Slim in trouble here. He should have him tucked away. And that is tucked away. Is it tucked away enough that he can't get to the side rail?
Bankster have won this before, and always with handicap. He clearly can play more than 2011 rating. What a guy.
Right, let's look at this. He can't get the angle off the long rail, and he's desperately trying to execute a jump. Yeah, it was too tall an order at that distance. Bill could have did that. So Bankster has a gift of an opportunity, ball in hand, and everything there. The only issue that Bankster's got here is where the 4 ball is and getting to the 5. That's the issue. You know, this looks as if it could be straightforward, but it might not be. Because when he gets on this 4 ball, the one thing he doesn't want it to be is straight, if he can help it. And the angle he's got in the 3 isn't great either, because he's running into that corner. So he's got to make sure that he hits this with enough pace. Well, he's trying to drag off the 3. And that was well thought out. But now, this is a shot. Now, let's have a look from his end as to what's going through his head. He's looking to see if it goes past the 7. So, that isn't an option. What I'd be doing is I'd be going top and right and trying to get out past the 9. The chances are you might bump into the 9. He's avoided it. He's avoided the 5. And he's laughing. Because that was the only sort of risk that might happen there, that you could bump into the 9. So he's avoided that. And he's got a clean shot in the 5. And he's back into the lead. Well, that 8 ball looked in the pocket and decided against it, and it's dry as well. And the 3 ball's tucked itself behind the 8, so Slim's on the 1. He's not going to have an issue in potting his next ball, although the 2 ball is obviously blocked. But he just needs to send it on to the 3. But the thing he has to also be careful with is that he gets the 8 ball out of the way, and he still has a shot in the 2 once he plays this. And he's trying to dig it in. Wrong button.
The replay of that last shot.
Wrong button. You know, when you start digging down and drawing that ball, the voice is going. And Bankster has... I need to have a drink. Now that was well played. He could see enough of the 3 ball to just drop the 2 onto it. But again, he's tried to bump the 8 out of the way. He might have been better to leave it there, because the worst thing that was going to happen is he would have had a 5-8 combo. And that was the wrong move at the wrong time there, and he's dead straight to 4, and now he's in trouble. He's trying to spin and get a bump. He didn't get any bottom left into it. I think if he'd tried that, he'd have probably drawn it into the pocket. So now he's going to have to run for cover here. Well, he's just left an edge. Problem though is that this is such a tight space. Slim's trying, he's got nothing in the 5 ball to hit other than a very thin edge. And not a lot that he could do with the cue ball, because the chances are, wherever he moved the cue ball, he was always going to leave Bankster some sort of shot. And Bankster's got the 5 into the side, and he can tuck the cue ball in behind 8 as well as a sort of backup plan. But he doesn't need it, and he's now got a 2-rack lead. Something went into the side. Was it the 7 ball? Yes, it was. He's sitting nicely in the 1. 2 ball, not an issue. Now, the 3 ball isn't an issue either, because all you want to do is leave it into the side there. However, the issue is where the 4 ball is, and where the chances of where you're going to end up with this 3 ball.
Stephen Thompson just got home.
Tell you the other problem. The other problem is that 3 ball doesn't go past the 8. So he's not. Has he got enough of this 3? I don't think he has. He hasn't. Tried to cut it across. And that 3 ball needs to hold a line to save Bankster. Well, it certainly doesn't go long down into this pocket, but it certainly will cut into the side. And this cue ball will be tracking a fairly nice line. Somewhere down sort of this direction for the 4 ball, unless Slim starts doing anything with the cue ball. I think he's just hitting it plain ball, let it run, but he's taking his eye off it.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
He has thought about the position, forgot about the pot. And Bankster, again, this is the big danger of this 5 ball. If you're the higher rated player and you make those errors with just a couple of balls to be potted, it's always going to go against you. But that shot there is really poor. He's killed it stone dead. He hasn't got anything into the cue ball. He's managed to scrape the 4 ball in, avoided the scratch somehow or other, and he's left an awkward 1 in the 5. But this, for a healthy lead, and he hasn't got it. And that's what happens when you get loose with the cue ball, or you don't get that control on it as good. Gets you out of line, and you're asking for trouble. And so Slim, well, again, he's going to get the double one. He's got the double.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Well, he needed that. He needed that big time. He's had a roll of the ball. But how's this finished in the 6? He's got it. Bankster should be kicking himself. He should be giving himself a wake-up call, because he fell short on that. Was it the 7 ball or whatever one it was? He didn't get into the cue ball, And that was his undoing, and ultimately it cost him the rack. And he should have been 6-3 up. 2 rack swing there. And Slim's only 1 behind. 3 ball goes in. How's his luck in the 1? Quick look around to see. Oh dear, look where the cue balls ended up though. Well, he can get to the 1. And it may well be that he's looking at the cut onto the 6. And that's well done. And he's still got a shot in the 1. And so the comeback is on here. Wide open, the table. Now again, this angle is just a wee bit tricky, so he's checking the cue ball with left English to kill the rail, or kill the ball on the rail, because he knows the 4 ball, well, I'm sure it squeezes past the 8. Yeah, there's loads of room past the 8. But he's again got to just watch the cue ball. He's missed the bump in the 7. Sitting nicely in the 5. Everything just hinged there on avoiding that 7 ball, because as soon as he hits the 7, he's in trouble. Now he could go inside to the long rail and out, like that. And again, if it had gone a wee bit straighter, he doesn't have anything else to think about. He's just having to be careful. He's went for the bank, and it's backfired.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
All because he's the wrong angle in that 7. If he was straighter than 7, he was laughing. He had no problem. So he decided to bail out with the bank. Didn't get it. And it's another 2 rack swing there, because we should have been all square. And Bankster now, with that 7, 8 and 9, is back to 2 in front. Well, that was a softish break by the look of it. But the 2s get in, and look at where the 1 and 9's finished. Oh, this is almost dead. It looks as if it's heading towards the jaw. There's a wee gap though. This is a big bonus if this goes. Oh, it's in all the way. What a time. I mean, what a rack that was. I mean, it couldn't have finished any better for Bankster. Unbelievable. Plum 1 and 9 ball. 2 ball goes in. 1 and 9 marry up more or less, and they're dead set into the corner. And in one blink of an eye, it's back to a 3 rack lead. Oh, I heard that. I heard that in the text-to-speech a while ago. Welcome, Spud Boy. I forgot all about you there. So, for the benefit of Spud Boy and anybody else who's still awake, because I'm certainly not, cue ball has gone. Oh dear. One Pocket Slim is defending his Friday night 9-ball title from last week, where I'm sure he beat Spectre Dawn in the final last week. I think Slim played pretty well in that final, if I remember rightly. But his crown is slipping here slightly, and he's got to take this out. Can't make any mistakes when you're giving the 5-ball away. And he is. And when you're feeling the pinch, it shows, because not only has he missed the 3, It's in the table enough to entice a cut here for Bankster if he wants it. But he's overcut it. But he'll settle for where that's finished. Is Slim going to risk it? Is it going to be worth it? That was beautifully played.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
What a shot. I think it's unfortunate he finished there in the 4, but what a cut. This is horrible. This is what you don't want when it's getting down to the wire. Again, he's played it well. Good recovery. Okay, he's got big distance, but he might have to jack up a wee bit here if he wants to avoid the 9. No, he's not. He's trying to spin it. No, he just has to get the pace right. Well, he can see the 7 and he can pot the 7. It's what he decides to do to get on the 8, and he's managed to avoid the hitting the 9. He's got the nice angle in the 8, so it's just a drop in. Cue ball goes through to about here, something like that, and he's on the 9. Well, Slim desperately needed that rack. He took on that awkward cut in the 3, a really thin cut along the short rail pretty much. And he gets the reward for it. And he's back to within 2. He's got, oh dear, he's got balls in the break, but... He's committed the cardinal sin. He's let the cue ball go loose and he's scratched the break and banks it. With ball in hand, he's got the 1, the 2. The only good news for Slim is that Bankster's got to run the table. The 5 ball has already gone, so he must run these out. But you can see why Bankster is so dangerous in this Friday night table. 5 should have been spotted. What, did they go in the break? I never noticed if the 5 went in the break. Well, he doesn't want to go too straight.
It went in on the break, which was a foul.
No, it was Slim that broke though.
Because of the scratch.
Yeah, but it was Slim that broke. Would it not have come back up if it was, if you pot your opponent's money ball, it stays down.
Since it was a foul stroke, Bankster's money ball shouldn't stay down.
Now you think that's the proper rule, say here, Pig? Well, you want to mention that to Steve then if you think that's the case. Yeah, Slim broke off, he scratched, and you're saying that because the 5 ball went in...
If you legally pot your opponent's money ball, it stays down.
Yes.
Hair Pig. If you pot it on a foul, it comes up.
Right, well you want to mention that to Steve then. And if he wants to verify it, then he watches this final, and he watches it up until rack number 11, because that's sorry, not rack. Well, he wants to start watching it from rack number 11, and then he'll see what happens. I'm not aware of that one. But it doesn't matter to Bankster because he's now on the hill with an 8-5 lead, needing 1 more.
Hair Pig. Steve might play by different rules, but around here that's how spotting money balls works.
Right. Well, we need to bring that up as a discussion with Steve then to find out. Is it not? Is it not? No, I haven't a clue. But is it BCA? Is it what affiliation and rules is Steve going by? Because I haven't a clue for 9 ball. Well, if I remember, I'll mention it to Steve. If you remember, then you can ask Steve whenever he's back on the stream. I'll need to
Hair
try
pig.
and remember that and ask him.
None of the official rules generally involve spotting balls. Hair pig. The leagues usually spot games, not balls.
Right.
Hair pig. It's gambling where balls get spotted.
Right, I understand what you mean now, right. But anyway, so are we really saying that Steve's going by his own rules and not official rules as far as the Moneyball handicap is concerned? Do we think that's what we're talking about here? Because you're talking about handicapping being game handicapping. I'm lost now. Well, I'll tell you something. The only way we're going to know is directly from
I
Steve.
don't know if there are official rules for Moneyball handicaps.
Well, Steve's the man to ask, because he would have been reading documentation and stuff. I would assume so. Nobody's ever brought that up before, Hairpig. But anyway, and with all that happening, Bankster's won. He's won out by 9 racks to 5.
It's an option in settings. Can be set/played either way.
Well done to Bankster. Unlucky to Slim. His title lasted 1 week. And there's always next week. And just a quick reminder, folks.
GG, guys.
Quick reminder, folks. We'll let you look at this.
Streaming.
This is VP4 TV. Here is a list of scheduled upcoming matches in this year's VP4 2022 World 10 Ball Championship.
Congrats,
I will try and stream as many as I possibly can, although time zone differences will be an issue. I must thank those players who take this into consideration when arranging their matches. Please subscribe to my YouTube and Twitch channels to join in the stream chat.
Brain fell out. Asterisk Bankster. Hairpig. Tie for the stream, Hugh.
Good night, ladies.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.